We're live. What's up, guys? What's up? Y'all know what we do. It's a Wednesday night, and it's AEW. We watch wrestling. We usually we have a special guest in the house tonight. Superstar pro wrestling god around this round here, Cal Maggard. What's up, Mr. Cal?
I like that, pro wrestling god.
Pro wrestling god, yeah. Yeah, so this is Sean John. You know Sean John. He's
Sean Johns. How you doing, sir?
Co-host, and we got a wrestling encyclopedia, and then we got super fan Johnny Lee over there.
What's up? What's up?
So you guys talk for a minute. I'm gonna.
All right, we're starting out. John Moxley coming out. Mr. Maggard, tell us how Kyle Maggard in the wrestling business came to be.
Well, Kyle Maggard in the wrestling business came to be about 2002. I was in a Walmart in Hazard, Kentucky. I bumped into a guy from that area I knew that wrestled, and we got to talking, and I'd always been a wrestling fan. And then I started training under him and going to independent wrestling shows, and next thing I know, I was wrestling.
Nice.
Had my first match in Big Clifty, Kentucky in 2000, and toward the end of 2002, in a barn.
Wow.
In a bar. That's cool.
In a barn in front of at 1 o'clock p.m. after church service, the church congregation walked over to the barn, got in their seats, and watched me kick somebody's ass.
Nice.
No.
It's always nice to kick somebody's ass,
Always.
especially
Hey,
somebody you
Amen.
know how to know.
Hallelujah. And then bang, beat his ass.
Let me paint this setting for you.
All right.
So it's a pole barn, metal pole barn that hadn't had the metal siding put on. So they had the siding wrapped, but they hadn't put the metal on. Then it was dirt on the inside, obviously. So, and it had been raining, so it was muddy. So they put plywood down around the ring, around to the walk to the ring. Then they put plywood down around the barricade so the fans could put their own lawn chairs and sit on the said plywood. But at any point in time, you got knocked out of 3 sides of the ring, you landed in mud.
Oh, wow.
Oh wow, that's
So,
fun.
yeah, imagine that. And that's not the first time I've ever wrestled in a barn. One time I was in Manchester, down in Clay County, and we wrestled in a barn where I had to dress in a horse stall right next to a horse's ass.
Oh man.
And he just happened to defecate inside some wrestler's bag. I'm sure on accident.
Oh yeah, that was an accident.
But yeah, Mr. Ed didn't like what he was spinning.
You didn't help that along, did you?
No.
Cody Hill says, can't hear him. There's a graphic on screen.
I got it
there's
off,
a
yeah.
tick sign. Okay. Is it working now, Cody Hill?
Is it working?
Should be able to hear.
Yeah, I can see us now.
Crystal John says, hey.
There's a delay. There's like a 7-minute delay.
That's
7
right.
minutes?
7 seconds delay.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
So he definitely
Alright.
in a wrestler's bag.
Yes.
Did you put the bag there? Or it was just wrong place, wrong time for that bag?
You know, there's some questions we don't ask, and then there's some questions we don't answer. That's one of both.
That's true.
Gotcha.
It just happened.
So what I'm doing right now is I'm on my phone. I'm sharing out your all stuff.
Yeah, well,
So-
that's
Oh,
what I'm
wait.
doing too.
With Kyle Maggard on your show, your followers will double.
Oh, yes.
Before night's end, easily, especially with me sharing it out on all my social media.
That's right.
You're far too kind.
Well, you know.
He is a kind man, but he's a heel.
You grace us with your presence.
That's basically true.
Well, listen, you pay me what you pay me, I'll be here.
Oh
yes,
yeah.
sir.
That's right.
Yeah, we had to take out a loan to get you in here, but it's well worth it.
Wrong place, wrong.
You know, Sean's seen you before.
Yeah, I talked with him about this at the News House show. You were kind of brought in at kick. Oh, good Lord.
Oh man.
I thought I put that on some. That's
I didn't know this was a college show.
no. This is
I
my
didn't know
sister
either.
calling. You'd mentioned Manchester and Clay County. This was her.
She's from Manchester and Clay County?
She lives in Manchester and Clay County.
Bless her heart.
Yeah.
She's the one
Lord,
that-
I have to take this. I'm sorry, Kyle.
Oh, that's fine.
Oh,
Go
that's
ahead.
fine.
She's battling cancer, so I hope this is just a...
It's fine. But yeah, he saw you way back when you were using the was it Super Soaker?
That's been a long time ago. That's been probably 2007, 8, 9, 10, somewhere through there.
That is a long time.
That was a long time ago.
Now look at you. You're a bona fide star.
Son, I come out of the womb a bona fide star. Where have you been?
I hear that. I mean, some men are born in greatness right away, and you're one of them. Even Andy knows this. That's why Andy wanted to have you on
Oh
the show.
yeah, that was you've been we've been eyeballing you to get on the show for a long time. We had to put our work in. We can't just have the biggest star in Kentucky come on the podcast right away. So
That's right.
we had to put our time in. We had to work the crowd, and we worked our way up to finally getting you in here. Hopefully it won't be the first or last time. Well, it's the first, but hopefully it won't be the last time.
That's true. That's really one of the reasons why we got Lemkeys inside here. You saw what he did. He took the title.
Yeah, he took our belt and kept it.
Y'all shit on it.
Speaking of your title,
Yeah, okay.
I'm sitting there looking at them,
Uh-huh.
and really the only belt we need to display is the one I hold, and that's the Kentucky Heavyweight
Okay, well,
Championship. So I'm about to spice up the studio here.
Okay.
I'm getting rid of these crappy belts.
Got some
and
bling
I'm putting
bling.
mine up.
You got some bling bling. He brung his bling. Where do you want to put it? Right in the middle?
Front and center, baby, just
Yeah.
like Kyle Maggard.
Heck yeah.
All right, here, take that. Put that.
Take
in the
this one out of the
garbage.
way.
Put that in the garbage.
That's right.
Tell the
Got
people
the
on
choice.
TV not to be looking at my butt while I do this.
Do not be looking at his
Oh,
butt.
they're looking right
or he
at
will
your
come
butt.
at you.
Oh, that's better. That's a lot better, guys. Y'all see that? That's the Kentucky. What is the Kentucky Heavyweight Championship?
That is the Kentucky Heavyweight Championship.
That's right.
The Kentucky Heavyweight
The-
Championship.
Anybody else that calls herself the champion of Kentucky is full of it. Nobody is the champion of Kentucky other than Kyle Maggard.
Kyle.
So any of you so-called people out there with a belt that say you're the Kentucky Heavyweight Champion, you're not. I'm telling you, you're not. Until you've wrestled Kyle Maggard, you are nowhere close to being the Kentucky champion. Let me just tell you that right now. I don't care where you're at, what title you think you have that represents this bluegrass state. I am the only professional wrestler that can say he is the champion of the state.
That's facts. Even if they call themselves the Kentucky Elite Champion, they have to come and fight.
I don't care
the
if they
Kentucky
call
champion.
themselves the Kentucky Mud Wrestling Champion. I could give two shits, okay?
That's true.
I'm the only champion in this state.
And the only bona fide star.
That is true. I am the bona fide star.
Yeah.
That's facts.
You're the biggest star. You're the biggest star we've had on the show.
That's true. You're
Definitely.
bigger than even Elvis.
Bigger than Elvis.
Well, I'm more alive than Elvis.
Yeah, you are
That's
more
true,
alive.
That's true as well.
My apologies, guys.
That's fine. Sean?
That's my sister claiming she's...
Well, just do me a favor.
Yes,
Tell
sir.
her to keep calling you and quit calling me, okay? I'm married. I can't have her calling me.
That's true. That's facts.
Well, she just called to let me know that she's back at work and is feeling better day by day from the cancer. So
Oh wow, that's cool. That's good news.
yeah,
That is good news to hear. So tell me, Kyle, if you could choose an opponent that you want to beat the ass of right now, who would you name?
Anybody. Anybody in the history of pro wrestling or anybody currently wrestling? What are we
Anybody
talking
currently?
about? Currently wrestling. That's a tough one because the thing about it is when I sit there and I think about everybody and everybody that wrestles for any promotion in the world, I don't get excited one bit, and I'll tell you why. Because I don't think any of them, when they climb in the ring with me, has a legit chance of beating me. So why am I going to get excited for somebody that I don't think can win? Now, there's a lot of good professional wrestlers out there. Heck, some people watching this might say, well, such and such is better than Kyle Maggard. Well, I can tell you they're not. Kyle Maggard wrestles where Kyle Maggard wants to wrestle. If Kyle Maggard's not wrestling somewhere, it's because Kyle Maggard chooses not to wrestle somewhere. If Kyle Maggard's not wrestling somebody, it's because Kyle Maggard chooses not to wrestle somebody. So let's get that straight first and foremost.
Yes, sir.
So, out there, I mean, I don't care if they're under contract with WWE, AEW, really don't matter. They can't make any claim about being any type of great professional wrestler or the best professional wrestler in the world unless they climbed in the ring with me. Because I can tell you, bell to bell, there ain't nobody going to stand in there and outperform Kyle Maggard.
Facts.
True.
They better hope that they could even stand in that ring, because I know that you always got them beat. I doubt that any of them would even be able to hold your title like you do.
They won't. They can't. Nobody's beat me for that belt. Nobody's come close to beating me for that
Not
belt.
even Misery.
I don't even want to talk about that guy. Listen. You know why Misery wears a mask, right? You know why, right?
Ugly.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
if you take his mask off, it's paint by numbers under there, okay?
yeah.
No,
It's supposed to be, we've heard that.
I've heard stories like that.
It's paint by numbers under there, and the problem is you can't give him the crayons to do it, especially if he's hungry.
That's facts too. I've heard they use crayons.
So what's your favorite place to wrestle, like as far as venue? You like barns, or you like the big would you like the barns the best, or what?
Favorite place? Oh. I've wrestled in a bunch of different places in a bunch of different towns. Like, I used to wrestle in Bowling Green every weekend, and through over the years, we would wrestle in different places out there. And Bowling Green's a great wrestling town. So let's just do it by towns. 'Cause,
Yeah.
Bowling Green's a great wrestling town. I always had fun wrestling out there.
What's the organization down there, or regime?
There's been different. I've been wrestling for 20 years. There's
Yeah.
been different organizations in and out of there. And but Bowling Green's fun. It probably holds a special place to me because when I first started wrestling, our tour was always out in Bowling Green and in the Nashville area every weekend. We would do a show somewhere either in South Central Kentucky on Friday. We'd drive into Bowling Green. We'd spend the night. We'd get up. Saturday, we'd wrestle somewhere in the greater Nashville area.
Okay.
Go back to Bowling Green. Go to sleep. Get up. Go to Big Clifty, Kentucky. Wrestle in a barn. 1
Yeah.
o'clock on Sunday.
Yeah.
For the lovely church crowd there. And then Sunday night, we'd wrestle somewhere in Bowling Green, whether it's the National Guard Armory, Reed's Restaurant, a bunch of different places. So and I did that every week for 4 years straight, I know, just starting out. So Bowling Green's always special to me when it comes to wrestling. And we talk about wrestling in this state.
Yeah, in the state, yeah, and well, surrounding states too, I guess. But Kentucky, you're the Kentucky champion, so
I'm the Kentucky champion, that's
That's
right.
right.
I've also been the Appalachian Mountain Wrestling champion. So I've been the champion of the whole region, too, 3 times.
okay. And where they're at?
Yeah.
Where are they located?
Oh, they're based out of Hazard.
Hazard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perry County.
Yeah. You got...
We'll have to come down there and visit down there at some point when you
We sure do.
when you're wrestling down there.
Well, we'll get back to wrestling down there when things kind of get back to normal. Everybody's dealing with the flood stuff back
Yeah,
home.
yeah.
Right.
You want to tell us about that?
Well, I mean, I know it's
Stan
something.
Sierra, thanks for watching, buddy.
I know it's something. Yeah, Stan Sierra. I hope you die. I do not like Stan Sierra. I'm just letting that be known. You know, I hope you die a gruesome and horrible death, but slow. Very, very slow.
If Cal don't like you, we don't either.
We don't like you, man.
I will say this about Stan Sierra. Stan Sierra is one of the toughest men in professional wrestling.
Oh yeah.
He's one of the, if I had to pick somebody that I enjoyed fighting with, I enjoy fighting with Stan Sierra because we really don't like each other.
Yeah.
I can't stand the ground he walks on, and we've had some battles.
But he's a good competitor.
I give him credit. He's good. He's tough. Because he's dirty.
Yeah, he's dirty.
He's dirty. There's no length that guy or links
Yeah.
that guy's not willing to go through to win.
Okay.
So
yeah. He's
We
kind of like
take
you.
that.
You go to those extremes sometimes, don't
no,
you?
I
Sir?
don't have to go to those extremes. I'm
No.
just better than everybody else.
You're better than everybody
That's
else.
just better
true.
than everybody
He
else.
never would do anything to.
No, I'm at the foot of the cross, right down the middle, all that good stuff.
Yeah, clean.
Yep.
Yeah, all the
He's
way.
all about clean.
I
Yeah,
got this. I'm gonna look at this baby face. I'm good.
exactly.
He'll never be caught cheating because he doesn't cheat. He
Yeah.
wins fair and square.
Fair and square every time. 1, 2, 3, right
No,
down
I'll
the
never
middle.
be caught cheating because those referees are dumb and blind as a bat.
I mean, that's facts too.
Talking about referees, we have Peyton Bowman's. We're going to be calling around 9 o'clock tonight. So
Yep,
That's-
he sure
hold
is.
on. Is he allowed to call? His parents said it's okay for him to be up that late.
9 is kind of late for
I mean,
him.
he forgot to get his warm chocolate milk last time.
He called from. His mom did tell him to turn out the light when we was talking to
Yeah.
him. Yeah, she's
And
like,
he had
She
Peyton?
screamed very loud.
Peyton, turn that light out. You know you're supposed to be in bed. I was like, okay. But he will call about 9 and tell us where he's reffing at and what he's been doing. Oh, they just kicked Moxley
really.
where the sun don't shine.
Of course.
So wait, tell us about the flooding down that way.
Well, if you can believe anything CNN says, it's the worst flooding disaster in the history of the United States that's not caused by a hurricane.
Yeah, yeah.
And the people from FEMA that are down there said it's the worst flood damage or aftermath they'd seen since Hurricane Katrina.
Oh, wow. So it's just it was just rain. Is
Yep.
that
Rain come real quick, hit caused the creeks to rise real quick and fast, and nobody knew it. Happened about 12 o'clock, 1 in the morning when it was dark. I was out of town. I was wrestling
Yeah.
in Tennessee, and I woke up to Facebook and to Armageddon and
Yeah.
some of the stories I've heard about, all the power's out, it's pitch black dark, you can't see, and all you hear is your neighbors yelling for help before they're washed away to die.
Oh wow.
Oh my.
How many people passed away? Do you know?
I'm not sure right off. I don't know the official number.
Anybody you knew personally?
Yes, there was a couple people down around the area where I live. One old lady, she got trapped in a house. She drowned inside her home.
Inside her house. Wow.
Mhm.
Wow.
Um,
And these people weren't even, like you said earlier, these people aren't even in flood zones, right?
right, most of them weren't in flood zones, therefore didn't have flood insurance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
It should that should be covered regardless. A national disaster like that should be covered regardless. But
It should be.
that is what it is.
well, like I was telling you, I got a friend who's got a 6-figure home that FEMA was willing to buy from him for about $500.
Wow.
So I
good
mean,
Lord.
the government's here
It's
to
too
help.
generous from them.
The government's here to help you. So.
Yeah, that's awful generous of them.
Yep, that's awful generous of them.
What if $500 don't get you nothing? Like, what the hell was they thinking? They wanted his land, or that was $500 to rebuild his house back?
No, it was for his land.
Yeah, so they wanted to buy his land and give him. Oh wow,
Holy damn.
yeah, that's
No.
crazy.
So
Yeah.
for everybody out there that thinks I'm a bad guy,
Yeah.
don't think your local not your local politician.
Yeah, the local guys are usually okay, but the federal government's kind of like wishy-washy sometimes about stuff like that.
There is a TikTok sound going on because a lot of people have mentioned it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Leon Lexington even popped in. So why is there
I
a
don't know.
TikTok sound?
I don't know.
Bone Breaking Action just became a fan of yours.
Who?
Bone Breaking Action.
He's a YouTuber. He's a bone.
He does stop motion house.
Follows us on YouTube.
He said, if you can believe anything CNN says, this guy's great. He has a great YouTube, that's for sure.
What is that ticking we got?
I don't know.
Isn't
Sounds like a stopwatch.
Isn't that video that was playing earlier?
Huh?
Is it that email you showed us?
I was hearing that from that video that when you played that one time.
Oh, the email that we got earlier. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Perhaps
We're
it's trying to tell us.
technical difficulties, everybody. Sorry about that. We normally are pretty on the spot.
Yeah, normally we are.
What's up, Leon Lexington, Jonathan Barnes? Thanks for watching, brother.
Jonathan Barnes gonna be coming inside the studio next
That
week.
damn Sean Johns watching. Fuck you, Sean Johns.
So I got this.
It's me. I'm weird. Oh, you did say.
What?
That was my fault. Sorry for the F-bomb, everybody.
Yeah.
Andrew Do Browning, what's up, brother?
You're fired.
We're well aware it's your fault. You did it.
You're
That's
fired.
right.
I do.
You're fired.
You're
Okay,
fired.
well,
Hang your head in shame. In the corner.
he'll just slap the crap out of me later. I don't know. Andrew Do Browning, what's up, buddy?
He won't just slap the crap out of you. He'll probably close fist you too.
No, it's not.
Believe
Yeah.
it or not, I'm not a violent person. I don't
True.
just go around slapping and punching people.
True.
True.
Sorry that we painted you like that. Because you are a bona fide star. And the biggest star that we've had on here.
Kiss. Andrew Browning says, "What's good, Kyle Maggard?"
What's up, Andrew? Been playing any ball lately?
They did film a video of him throwing football a couple of weeks ago.
I hear Andrew's a stud softball player. That's the word on Facebook.
And he's a stud with the Hooters girls too.
I don't know where that ticket.
I don't know,
I
dude.
thought that was coming
Is
from
that your phone?
Email.
And Lord, I don't know.
Okay, so we got this email earlier. I'm gonna play, guys.
Listen, what's with the ticking? I mean, you know, pay me come on here. You say this is some top-rate podcast, and we got ticking going on. Well, you got the biggest star you've ever had in studio, but we all we can hear in the background is tick, 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 tick.
So this was an email I got earlier from an anonymous caller. Anonymous email. It's gonna play on the.
That's what I thought that was coming from.
That's what I did too.
Someone sent
Oh,
that to
Lord.
us, guys.
Coming soon.
Something's coming soon.
Yes, it is.
Coming soon. I don't know what that means, but I was asked to play that on air, and
Who asked you to play that on air?
we
An anonymous email.
anonymous emailer.
Well, you know what? Tell that anonymous emailer if he wants it played on air, come into the damn studio. This is my time.
Did I?
Thanks.
All right. If it
That's
don't pertain
true.
to me, I don't care about it.
Did we?
That's true.
I don't even know. Did anybody see it?
Uh,
I don't know if I played it right.
no, you didn't. We didn't have. Andrew Browning says we didn't have a season because we didn't have enough players. Anthony Presley is watching. Oh boy.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Lord,
There it is.
somebody block that guy.
I know, right? He'll probably be calling here in a minute. He thinks he owns the place. I mean, did I say that out loud?
Whoops.
Well, listen, I'm not going to talk to that guy without my lawyer.
Oh,
My lawyer, John Blevins, from Baird Blevins Law Office out of Corbin, Kentucky. Shout out to you. Best lawyer in the state, hands down. Why is he the best lawyer in the state? Because I let him represent me. That's why. He represents the Kentucky Heavyweight Champion.
that's true.
That's right.
So I think I fixed the ticking.
Yep. 'Cause it's
I don't hear it now.
Yeah, there we go.
Now listen, I'm getting a lot of requests on my phone, people blowing up, people watching your podcast. Has never watched your podcast before, but is only watching it because Kyle Maggard's on here. And there are people that want to give me a shout out.
Okay.
All right, listen, first and
Okay.
foremost, before I can give anybody a shout out, you want me to give you a shout out, you need to hit me up on my Facebook page, Pro Wrestler Kyle Maggard. I will give you my PayPal information. You PayPal me $25. I'm going to go easy on you. I generally charge $50, so I'm going to knock it off half price tonight.
Okay.
All right, and I will give you a shout out. Send me a message on my Facebook page. I'll give you my PayPal. You hit me up. You give me the money. I'll give you a shout out. Plain and simple. That's how it works.
Fair enough.
I'm not going to give you a shout out because I like you. I don't like any of you people. All right.
That's right.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anthony Presley says, "Well, it's my Kentucky champion. Watch out, Andy. He'll try to take over the podcast."
Oh, I know, right?
Listen, Tony.
He's been nice.
Hold on, no. It's like I told you the other night in Wilmore, Kentucky. You may have bought the ring, but when I'm in the ring, I own it. Okay, Hoscat. It's my ring. It's my promotion because I'm the man. All right, you paid big dollars to get Kyle Maggard. Where's the camera at? You're right there. I'm talking to you, Tony. You paid big dollars to have Kyle Maggard in your promotion. You paid big dollars because you knew that I would put butts in seats, and that's what I've done for you. You knew that I am the single best professional wrestler walking around. You put me out there, and I did one thing and one thing only. Let's be the best. Let's be the man. It's evident by your championship belt that I hold, okay, that nobody can beat me for. This belt right here is the most prestigious title you have. Not because it's the Kentucky Heavyweight Championship. It's because of who holds the Kentucky Heavyweight Championship. Understand that first and foremost. If I don't hold it or I don't hold value in it, if I don't want it, it's not important. Let's get this straight. First and foremost, right here on the nice, stupid name, by the way, on the Nice Guy in the podcast, okay? Write it down. If Kyle Maggard doesn't see value in it, if Kyle Maggard doesn't go after it, and if Kyle Maggard doesn't hold it, that championship means nothing. It only means something when it's around the waist of Kyle Maggard, because I am the man.
The man. The man. I think I'm going to change the name of the podcast to Kyle Maggard's podcast.
Oh, listen.
Is that okay with you?
We'll talk trademarking and
okay.
licensing
Okay.
and get with Lemon Juice.
Okay.
He'll
Yeah.
work out the details
That's
on
right.
that.
That's right.
We'll only charge you a small
I had to
fee.
call him earlier because he got word that you were going to be here, and I had to call him yesterday and asked if it was okay to put out stuff, and I had to have his little seal of approval.
Well, that's why I've got representation, boys.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right, I got a shout-out request. She's
Uh-oh.
already paid me.
She paid you $25. Uh-oh.
This lady is the principals at my kid's school back in Hazard,
Oh,
okay?
ask
So
her to send us
shout
some
out
money,
to
too.
Emily Duke. Give her a quick
Shout out to Emily.
Yeah, thank you for your generous donation there, Miss Duke.
Thank you, Miss Duke.
Kylie Maggard is watching. Thank you for watching.
All the Maggards watching.
Mr. Presley chimed
Yeah,
in with, Misery is only 5 wins from standing across the ring from you, and it's going to be painful.
Oh, wow. I think you've already
I'm
wrestled.
just
Didn't you
giving
beat
the
him
message.
already?
Don't shoot the messenger.
Didn't you beat him already?
No,
He walked away with the title.
It was a
That's
technical.
all that
Oh, it was like,
matters.
yeah, because
Well, he
cheated.
He hit me with a chair.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
had a chair to protect myself.
Yeah.
And then he punched me and hit me in the face with the chair.
yeah, I remember that because
I don't
yeah,
know
he
how they
cheated.
put that down in the scorebooks, but
Yeah.
way I see it is I won.
Yeah, he cheated by disqualification. I think it was. He got you disqualified for somehow.
And
I
then,
think that was probably conspiracy from
Donnie Green says you still owe him 50.
Donnie Green. You owe Donnie Green some money.
Andrew Browning wants to know if he can call in. He'll have to pay the Kyle Maggard fee.
Yeah, you have to pay
Yeah,
Kyle
you have
Maggard.
to-
even
I
to
mean,
call in.
Yeah, you got to pay the fee, pay
It's
the piper.
$50.
Yeah, it's $50 due.
Do you watch any of the current stuff?
No.
Okay,
No.
that's all.
So this he's pretty good. MJF. I'd
mean,
love to see you wrestle him.
he's kind of so good. He reminds me of a young Kyle Maggard.
Oh yeah, he's
And
good
what
with
you
the.
see
He's not
is
that
what
good.
you get.
He's not that good.
He's not better than Kyle Mack, that's for sure. Plus, he's not Kentucky champion. You are.
Exactly. What? Anybody else talking on there?
Oh my God, Mr. Presley. I call him Mr. Presley. That's just me. I'm sorry. Anthony Presley goes, I will give Maggard this. He was the first wrestler I signed on to New South Wrestling. He is a very talented wrestler, but has a poor attitude. He takes shortcuts he doesn't have to.
Uh-oh. I've never seen you take no shortcuts. I've always just seen you out there just, hammering away at the opponent.
He's
You know.
calling you out, man.
Shortcuts. Listen,
That's-
I think Mr. Presley needs some glasses.
I
He probably
Did-
needs to borrow your glasses.
I know. Do you, I
Shortcuts.
think I sense a little jealousy, Anthony. I don't think you shouldn't be like that.
That's exactly right.
little jealousy.
He is jealous. I mean, just look at the guy and look at me.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah.
I-
You're a lot
I
handsomer
understand
than
why
him.
exactly.
Yeah.
A lot more.
Yeah. Yeah, he's, yeah.
Hey, but Anthony Presley's a good guy, too.
Yeah, he's a good guy when he's asleep. He's a great guy when he's sleeping.
I don't know. I hear he snores and wakes the whole neighborhood up. I don't know.
You sound like the horse from that barn.
Sorry. That's just how I talk. He goes, Andy, you need to check with your optometrist.
I know, right? I do need some new glasses. I do need to. I agree with that.
That is true.
Yeah.
So tell me, Kyle, what period would you say was your favorite period in wrestling that you've been a part of?
That I was wrestling in or watching?
Yeah. So
Wrestling.
yeah. So you've been wrestling. What you said, 20 years, some give or take.
Yep, started in 2002, so
Yeah.
or
20
20
years.
years.
20 years. I guess you've been around the block a few times. You've seen a lot of things. Who is the as far as big stars that have a big have been on the big shows? Have you wrestled anybody that's that we should know, like a name that we know?
Well, I mean, heck, I just beat every name that Toni Preston brings and puts in
Oh
front
yeah,
of me.
you do. You do that. Yeah.
So, I mean, I've wrestled a few quote-unquote names, but most important thing is they wrestled some names too, and the only name that really matters is they got to wrestle Kyle Maggard.
Yeah. Exactly.
So,
Yeah. Who's your favorite person to wrestle? Like as far as like somebody that pushed you to your limit. You wrestled them. You was out there with them banging, and you actually learned something that day. You may have you probably came out with the win, but who was most influencing your wrestling skills?
well, I'm a mix of a lot of people. I
Yeah.
like it. Everybody today, if you ask them who their favorite wrestler is, I'm sure you're going to get people like John Cena or Brock Lesnar, or
Ric Flair.
hopefully you'll get Ric Flair.
Yeah.
But it depends on the age of the person you ask.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that all depends. The age and why it's important is for this question is depending on who they watched.
Yeah.
So, but you talked about this one being a historian. I generally watch a lot of wrestling from the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of people there that influence me now more than anything you'll see on TV here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
So like you watched Ric Flair, the Four Horsemen.
oh Lord, yeah.
Yeah. So they were big influence on. Like, so was you a wrestling fan as a kid? And you said, as a kid, I want to do that, or like how
No.
did that work?
When I was a kid, the first experience I had watching wrestling was with Hulk Hogan's Rock and Wrestling cartoon show.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
And then I didn't watch wrestling again until I was in high school. I didn't watch any wrestling.
Was
until
you
I in
was
high
you an
school.
athlete in high school? Did you play football? Did you
Played
wrestle?
football and basketball and baseball and track.
Oh, so you was an athlete. You're already
Now I'm a professional athlete.
professional athlete. Yeah.
So, in high school, I was in high school in the late 90s, so you know what? That was one of the biggest booms in wrestling,
Yeah.
or the modern era anyways. So obviously, guys that you would have watched then was Stone Cold and The Rock and such. Those were what caught my eye and got me interested into pro wrestling.
Yeah.
But as I got older and started wrestling, I really started diving into the history of wrestling and other wrestlers and learning about stuff that wasn't WWF.
Yeah.
And learning about the territories and who wrestled in these territories, who was popular in these territories, rivalries, who drew money, this, that, and other.
So you're a student of wrestling. You study it. You.
Student of the
Well,
game.
as long as it's not like, as long as I'm not being graded like I was in college, then I'm a
Exactly.
pretty good student.
Exactly.
Exactly. You're a student of the game. Like Triple H once said, if you want to be good, you got to also study up on your history.
So, your trainer, who actually trained you? Can you say who?
Yeah, he don't want to lay claim to it.
Okay.
I was actually trained more or less by two people.
Yeah.
Uh,
How long
Eddie-
did it take you to train though? Too.
I trained for about 6 months before I had my first match.
Okay.
And then here's what people don't understand: you never stop training.
Oh,
I
yeah.
still train.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
still train. I still learn new stuff.
So you're in
You can never not learn new stuff. If you think you know it all or you learned it all, quit.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Exactly.
There's,
Exactly.
I mean, that's probably why I beat everybody, and I'm the Kentucky Heavyweight Champion.
So, because you're just out there studying, you're out there learning, you're in the ring, like
You're
so,
constantly
like
learning.
on your off time, are you in the ring too?
As much as I can be, yeah.
Yeah. So there's a ring somewhere, Cal Maggard Farm with the in the barn.
Thing about it is I'm getting to the age where I got to be. What's the word I'm looking for here? I got to be selective and most efficient with my time.
Okay.
As you get older, your body gets little miles on it, a little wear and tear.
I understand. You
God, that
gotta
bump
use
card.
You're saying you use your more or less now you're using your mind more than you are your brawn anymore to win these matches.
Oh, obviously.
Yeah. So it's like
You can tell I'm the
mind
smartest
game.
person in the ring. out
Yeah,
there.
it's always a mind game. When I'm out there like watching you and I'm at these shows and I get to see you come out, it's always I'm always there to like see when Cal Maggard's coming out. And then I study Cal Maggard and what he's doing and the way he's working the crowd and the way he's telling everybody this and that, and you're a star out there. You are. Your
That's right.
craft.
I am a star.
You know your craft. You
I
do.
am a star.
Yeah, you are a star.
You're a bona fide star.
Bona fide star.
You were born a star. and you're still
Anthony
a star.
Presley did just put you over. Said you're one of the biggest assets in New South Wrestling and to Kentucky altogether.
He's kissing up. He wants something.
That's right.
I think he knows.
He knows.
I think Anthony knows that.
I think he would just like for you to like. He knows how good you are, and he admits it. But I think he just wants you to kiss his ass a little bit, and that's not even going to happen, is it?
No, because well, it'd take a while for him to mark off an acre for me to pick the spot.
Yeah.
True. But yeah, you never.
So how'd you get hooked up with Mr. Lemon Juice McGee? Did he come to you, or you come to him, or y'all just kind of met?
Well, we were down at the School of Morton wrestling, and he come to me after a match, said he'd changed his ways. Lemon Juice hasn't always been the most upstanding citizen,
Yeah, of
course.
and he wanted to be with somebody that was a winner. He was tired of being with losers, and he wanted to represent somebody he knew that could get the job done. Well, I give the guy a chance, and long and behold, we worked well together. And
Yeah, he's definitely got your back out there.
oh, after it's been like, I don't know, a month or a few weeks, 3 or 4 weeks, whatever. He got with that one woman he went out with, and she ended up leaving a mark on his neck or something.
Oh,
I really
yeah.
don't see or talk to him much right now. So, I get up every morning about 4:30, 5 o'clock. I go to the gym. I train. Generally, I'll hear if it gets to be about 6:30. Right at the crack of dawn, I don't ever hear from him anymore. And then I don't know, it's like 9 or 10 o'clock. He'll start messaging me again.
Come
at
to
night.
find out, he had one of my belts came up missing, and he ended up having it. I didn't know he had it, and then I seen this video. I don't know who put a video camera in the bathroom, but you walked in, and and Lemon Juice is in there, like just smelling up the place, and he comes out with my belt.
You sure it wasn't the belt that was smelling up the place?
Well, it may have no.
Oh.
It may have been the
Oh.
belt. May have been the belt.
I mean, it may have. But
Possibly.
Yeah, I think maybe Lemon Juice wiped his ass on it or something. I don't know, but and then he ended up leaving it in there. Austin Michaels ends up finding it, and Austin Michaels ends up giving it to Austin Diamond. No. He gave it to the mayor of Wilmore, Kentucky.
And then the mayor gifted it to Austin Diamond.
The mayor met Austin Diamond, was so impressed with Austin Diamond, and gave him the belt. So then Austin Diamond gave us back the belt. So that's the way I got my belt back. But I'm looking for Lemon Juice. He owes me an explanation.
I mean, he did say he took it while he was on the show that night.
Yeah. I didn't even see him take it. He's so slick.
And he
Yes,
slapped
looking out.
his image onto it and said, "Now it looks perfect."
Yeah, we saw that.
So
The comic version.
is it Comic Virgin, right? Everybody out there in the land, if you're going to listen to a really cool comic podcast, Comic Virgin, Lemon Juice is. I think he's on Spotify.
Yep.
Check it out. It's great. It's very informative on comic books. Him and his
Co-host.
co-host, they
She's the titular comic version.
so they go and they go over some comic book stories, and it's really cool and really fun.
Yeah.
Even though he did steal my belt, lemon
I
juice.
mean, he did steal like a sneaky
Andrew
fox.
He borrowed it. I'm gonna say he borrowed it because I'm not gonna say he stole it. I'm gonna say he borrowed it.
Of
Without my
course you
permission.
would.
Royal Lex is
Listen,
watching. Thank you.
Lemon Juice McGee is an outstanding United States citizen. He would not steal anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
He
that's
borrows
true.
with no intent of returning. Got you.
I mean, he did technically.
I still
turn
don't know who was videoing that video in the bathroom.
We
Who
got
knows?
questions on that.
I'm starting to wonder if the mayor of Wilmore, Kentucky, is not putting cameras in the bathrooms in all city,
Oh wow.
Uh-oh.
which is that's probably illegal.
That probably is illegal. We have to investigate
I
that
don't
guy.
think it's a probably on that.
We'll
one.
probably be back down there hopefully soon.
I
New
mean-
South Wrestling, they were really cool with us down there. I think New South Wrestling will be back down there in Wilmore, Kentucky. We
That'd
had
be
a
great.
pretty good show down there.
I watched the pay-per-view on Pref Spin. The commentary was all right for the most part until the match with you two on you and Lemon Juice on there, and that brought the credibility of the commentary team straight up.
Of course,
You
and we
Lemon
did,
Juice.
and we did a podcast during the mission, so that helped it out too.
Intermission, yeah.
Yeah, you guys and us, we carried that show.
Well, I'm just going to say I brought credibility to your podcast tonight.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
you
you
did.
did,
Like
sir.
yeah,
sure
we,
did, sir.
we got all kinds of people watching us tonight. Thank you very much for
You're
doing
a real
that.
star. That's why.
This is probably going to put us over the top as far as start making some money with
That's
this
right.
podcast.
We're going big time now.
I was going to
Look at
have
the
to,
star.
to tell you the
Generally,
truth.
I put things over the top. That's why Tony Presley signed Kyle Maggard
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
wrestle in New South Wrestling.
That's why I knew South.
I'm surprised he's
is
not
now
here.
top
I'm
dog.
surprised he's not here knocking on the door or calling me.
And Andrew Browning said he tried to call.
I don't have it. I don't have it hooked up. I don't think.
Well.
I could hear the vibration though. Heard you.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you heard it because I know I didn't.
Let me see if it's even hooked up.
Yes.
He tried to call in because he knew that Star was inside the studio. They just needed to talk to him.
So we do have some new. We do have a couple new. I'm going to shout out our new sponsors. New South Wrestling has signed on as an official sponsor. We want to shout those guys out for. If you guys want check out some really cool wrestlers. The star of the show, Kyle Maggard, Kentucky Heavyweight Champion, is signed with New South Wrestling. So you guys will be able to see him when they have their new shows. So tune in here every podcast, and we will keep you updated on the latest New South Wrestling news. And we have our new sponsor, collar and elbow T-shirts.
That's right.
For 10% discount, guys. Give them the Andy 10 code when you at checkout, and you get a 10% discount. That goes to help fund and help the podcast. We can, we can't do this for free, so we need everybody's help. And we are monetized on Facebook for stars. If anybody wants to donate stars to us, just donate the stars, and it helps out the podcast a lot. And Royal Lex for all your internet gaming needs. Check out Royal Lex on Facebook. Tell them Nice Guy Andy Podcast sent you, and they will give you $5 in free play. And for your late night gaming needs on the internet, Royal Dark. Royal Dark stays open from 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time till 4 a.m. in the morning. And tell them that Nice Guy Andy sent you, and they'll help you out too. They'll sign you up and have fun playing.
That's right.
And these some of these belts on the table here were brought to you by a guy named. You want to do it, Johnny?
The man from Pakistan, Muhammad Jafar. This belt right here that you can see, this was made by him, finally crafted. Including
What's
the
his
belt
name?
that Muhammad Jafar.
Spell that.
It is
Johnny can spell.
MuhammedGhaffar.
Johnny can spell.
Muhammad Jafar.
I can't spell what the
And this
nothing.
It's finally S too. I'm telling you, Kyle.
I failed first grade, so I can't spell.
This belt may be shitty, but it's a finely crafted shitty belt.
Shitty belt.
The best shit in town.
That's right. And from the man
hey.
from Pakistan.
You know, it's a pleasure to have a guy like Kyle Maggard sit on our belt.
Truly is.
Yeah. So he's
Hey,
a
was
sponsor
also
of
one
ours,
the juice.
and he helps us out with the belts. So
He's the guy that also made us that finally big green belt that you got over there. Show that video off for the viewers.
this is the new
That's right.
Rinky Dink Bullshit Podcast Championship right here.
That's right.
This goes to when we have our pay-per-view challenge. The guys in the studio, we do a point system, and they predict the matches, and whoever comes out ends up being
Bobby
podcast
Blade said Johnny Lee is like the Don West of the podcast with the hard sell. Thank you, Bobby Blade. Adrian Alexander's watching.
You know Bobby Blade?
Bobby Blade and I used to tag together.
Oh, wow, okay.
In the MWA
Okay.
back in mid-2000s.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
In a minute.
did he learn from you, or did you learn from him?
You know, anybody in the ring with me learns from me.
Yeah.
Bobby, you had the pleasure of learning from Kyle Maggard.
Bobby Blade has a great YouTube channel, guys.
He
Check
really
out Bobby
does.
Blade's YouTube channel on YouTube. It's called Lone Wolf Bobby Blade, and he's got all the old Kentucky wrestling stuff on there.
You can find him and Kyle Maggard tag team together maybe.
Exactly. It's probably on there. He's got it all on there. So check that out. And check out Bone Breaking Action on YouTube. He's
That's
very
right.
fun. He's a fun guy.
And he has some great stop motion with Hasbro figures.
And check out...
Unknown caller.
That's Peyton Bowman.
It's probably Andrew Browning.
Andrew Brown. Let's see what Andrew's up to.
Yeah, that's him.
Andrew Browning,
What's good?
Not much, brother.
you are you're
On the
so
podca-
fortunate. You're on the podcast with Kyle Maggard. If you say something nice to him, he may say hi to you. But if you gave him a $20 bill, he'd definitely say hi to you.
You damn straight.
25.
So you got to get his
25, son.
$25. I'm sorry. That's a 5% discount. I'm sorry. I thought I had a promo code there for a minute. $25.
It's the promo code.
If you want to text him, you send him the $25 PayPal. He will say hi to you.
That's right. Because you are inside the presence of a bona fide star.
Did you get his payment?
I have not.
What's
gotten
up, Kyle?
his payment. What's up, Andrew?
Oh yeah, he must have got your payment.
He's talking to him.
He must have got your payment, Andrew.
You must have paid.
What do you want to say to New South Wrestling
Kentucky
heavyweight champion? What do you want to say to him?
Hey, Kyle Maggard's the only Kentucky champion in Kentucky.
That's
You're
right.
100% right, Andrew. The
Yeah.
only one. I don't care. Like I said, I don't care what wrestler has what belt that says Kentucky champion on it. It can say Kentucky champion. It can say bluegrass champion. It can say I don't care. I really don't care. Nobody is the champion of the state other than Kyle Maggard. And if anybody disputes that, if there's any wrestler out there that's got their little belt, their little play belt, and wants to dispute that, they're more than welcome to climb in the ring with Kyle Maggard, and we can find out who is the best. But I can tell you what, there's certain promoters in this state that wouldn't allow that to happen because they have their little quote-unquote Kentucky champion. They wouldn't let that happen because they know their champion would lose.
Yeah.
See, the thing about Kyle Maggard as the Kentucky champion, because I don't ask Tony's permission. If I want to go to another promotion and defend this title, I'll defend this title. If there's a promoter out there that's got a big money match and they want to put Kyle Maggard in it and they got the money to put Kyle Maggard in it, I'll climb in there and I'll put this title on the line. There's one thing Kyle Maggard is not, and that's a coward. I'm a fighting champion. I'll fight anybody. I don't care.
And everybody out there, please don't try to message Kyle Maggard. There's ways to get to him. You got to go through the channels. You got to get a hold of Lemon Juice first,
That's true.
and you got to maybe maybe call somebody else,
Call
his
his
lawyer
attorney.
or something. But the man just doesn't just talk to
And
anybody.
you may have to pay him $50 because he's not always going to be generous and say $25.
Yeah, he's just giving us a discount on here.
That's the price you have to
Well,
pay.
with
to
what
talk to
with
greatness.
what you guys paid me to be here tonight, I can afford to take a little.
Well, we had
take a
to
little
take.
off the top.
We do appreciate that.
But like
sir.
I said, and Andrew's 100% right. I am the man in Kentucky. That belt says I am the man in Kentucky. I told you, there's other people that might claim it, but they're not it. And their quote unquote promoters probably wouldn't let them climb in the ring with Kyle Maggard. And they may hear this, they may not. And if they do hear this and they get on their little talk show and talk about it, they can kiss my ass.
Oh well,
No.
you're on the podcast. Everybody's watching
He's
this.
letting y'all know.
This is going to be the biggest. This is the biggest show of the year for us.
Donnie Green
mean-
said he paid you $10 to say hi one time.
Well, Donnie Green, you're short about $15 for tonight, okay? But all I'm saying is
That was probably 20 years ago.
yeah, inflation. So you're short a lot.
Yeah. Back when he was first started out, he was charging 10. Now he's gas prices have went up. He's charging 25 now.
That's true.
But like I said, there's these other champions or quote unquote champions that think they're champions that just wrestle in one town and they're only going to wrestle for this promotion. I'll put that title on the line in any promotion in the state to prove that I am the man. Those other guys can't say that. Like I said, their quote unquote promoters or bosses won't allow them to do that. They won't allow them to say that they'll do that. And all they'll do is they'll get on that. They can hear me talking and this, that, and other. And they're more than welcome to talk about it after they're done talking about college football on their show. And, it just is what it is. Everybody's scared of Kyle Maggard. Nobody would put their champion up against me because they know what would happen.
If there's any another so-called Kentucky champion out there, my number's out there. Give us
That's
a
right.
call. Put the
Call us.
challenge out on the podcast. We will get it back to Cal, and we'll see if you're worthy enough to go get in the ring with the Kentucky champion.
Make it belt for belt. Kentucky heavyweight champion.
Yeah, 'cause-
Winner take all.
I think Cal just wants to run around and just collect all the Kentucky belts so he can throw them in the trash.
Well, I'm just telling you, I wouldn't go belt for belt. You know why? Because their belt means nothing. Why does their belt mean nothing? 'Cause it holds no value. Why? Because I don't value it.
Yeah.
That's
That's
right.
true.
I've done said that on this podcast. Come on,
Let's
boys.
Kyle Maggard.
That's true. He
Let's
did
Kyle
say
Maggard.
Are
that.
you not listening, Johnny?
Yeah, I've been listening.
Sean messes up one more time. You're out of here.
What
All
the?
right.
Okay.
I'll take
Well,
it.
then I'm screwed.
So tomorrow night we're having Alexis Littlefoot's going to be in the studio. She's Generation Next Pro Wrestling female
Rising
wrestler,
Star.
and there's Rising Star. She's going to be wrestling down in Cynthiana at Bar Brawl 4 on October the 4th.
92.
October the 1st. It's going to be an all women's card. And she's going to be in the main event, tag teaming with somebody, right?
Yep.
Against.
She's not going to say who her partner is right now.
Oh, we don't know who her partner is, and she's tag team. Who's she going against?
Paige
Paige
Jones
Jones
and a
and-
partner of her choosing.
Yep.
Okay, so nobody knows the partners yet, but that's going to be a hell of a night down there. And the night before that, on the 31st, Generation Next Pro Wrestling Bar Brawl 4 is going to have the guys that are going to be wrestling that night. So you got Gaston LaRue with just on our podcast a couple episodes ago going against
Jay Money.
Jay Money. We tried to get Jay Money on the podcast. We didn't have enough money. We took all our budget to get Kyler Maggard in here.
That's
So, and Jay Money wants the money too. So,
Yes, he does.
it was a lot less than you asked for. But
Kyle Maggard asked for a lot.
yeah, but he's worth
Kyle
it.
Maggard deserves a lot.
He's worth it. So we got him in here, and we're still working on Jay Money to get in here. Who we having next Wednesday in?
Next Wednesday, well, he won't be in studio, but he will be calling.
Oh, we're gonna have a call in next Wednesday.
Drew Dillinger.
Drew Dillinger is going to be on the phone. And then the night after,
The night after is Jonathan Barnes. Jonathan Barnes, the Allied Pro Wrestling referee.
okay.
Are you watching Jonathan? We can't wait next
It's
week.
it's hard to have anybody else on after Kyle Maggard because they're like,
That's true. That they'll have to.
Once
So
we
Jonathan
get the
Barnes
best,
is
why
next
would
week?
we want the rest?
Yep.
yeah,
I'm sorry, Jonathan, that you have to follow me, son.
I know,
Good
right?
luck.
That's true.
Yeah.
Good luck. You're going to need it.
Get yourself a pine
He better-
box.
he
I
better
mean, this
hope.
is kind of the peak for the year for us. Like our
Well,
ratings.
I recommend, if this is the peak, that you just shut it down.
Yeah.
I mean, you
We
can't
may.
get no higher, boys.
Yeah.
That's right.
We might have to keep going just for our fans because maybe you might come back again.
Thank you,
At some point.
Rolex.
At some point, you may come back again. You know,
Well, when you
Hey,
when
we'll
you
save
go
up
back
the
to
money.
finances,
rolls
we'll
in.
talk about it.
we'll save up some money again. You know, we do have a few sponsors. I got Anthony Presley out there. You know, he's paying us the big money now, and you know he's helping us out. And that guy's got a whole pocket full of money. I swear he does. And so he's helping us
Who,
out.
Anthony Presley?
Yeah.
Well, if you knew what he paid me, you'd understand.
Oh,
he
I
does
do.
have a
I know.
pocket
And,
full of money.
you know, when you bring the card in, I mean, he's got the biggest star in Kentucky
That's true.
working for him. So, you know.
Bone Break Action said Fadil should be getting paid for a shout out.
Oh,
Fandito's got all the
shots
money.
fired.
What is it?
He said Kyle Maggard did a pretty good job jerking the curtain at Crossfire.
Who said that?
Anthony Presley.
Jerking the curtain.
Well, all that means, Anthony, is after my match, the show was downhill.
Until you got on the commentary.
Well, the commentary saved it, but it is what it is, Anthony. Wherever you put me on the card, that is the mountaintop of your shows. Always remember that.
That's true because he is the Kentucky heavyweight champion.
The only one.
That's right. And the
The only
bonafide
true
star.
one. Oh, good Lord.
I mean, that
spine
is
buster.
the only Kentucky.
That
heavyweight
guy, that
championship
powerhouse
right there.
Hobbs guy is huge.
But
he's
is
a
he
monster.
bigger than Kyle Mack?
No.
No,
Damn straight.
he looks big on TV, but he's on, really, I think Powerhouse
Kyle
Hobbs.
Mack would overtower him.
Powerhouse Hobbs is only like 5'5", I think. He's
He
only
wishes
like,
that- he wishes
I
that
think
he-
it's camera angles and stuff. I think
he
the
wishes that he was
Smoke
as
and
big as
mirrors.
Kyle Mack.
it's smoke and mirrors. He's like 5'5". He's only weighs 230.
He said Mr. Main Event dropped 8 spots. Mr. Presley.
Oh wow!
Shots fired.
Hey,
Presley's
hey, Anthony,
going
do you
off
want
on
to call in and call us, Anthony? Call us. I'd love to hear you guys go at each other.
Call us in, Anthony. We'd love to hear it.
He may
Hey,
call here in a minute.
Hey, he's
If
been
he's not
calling-
busy, he'll call us.
he's been doing shots all night against Kyle Mack. I mean, if you ask me, it
Taking
seems,
shots.
It seems like he's got a agenda against you,
Jealousy.
Jealousy.
Rolex said we've looked great tonight.
Kyle. He spent all night going off on you, calling you.
The
a
wheels are
jerk.
turning.
Now
Cal's,
saying,
Kyle's
drop
gotta-
8 down matches.
he's trying to come up with something.
He said maybe the next show Kyle Maggard might be on a dark match before the paper. Good
Oh
Lord.
wow!
Shots
That's
fired.
usually where Fandito is. That's usually
It
Fandito's
really
spot.
is.
You know, it doesn't matter if Kyle Maggard's on the dark match or whatever. Once they see Kyle Maggard, they've seen all they need to see of the show,
Yeah.
so they're just going to leave.
Oh wow! We got
So if he wants people to stick around for his main event, then he better put me there. If he don't
True.
put me there, and he wants people to be there for the end, and that's on him when they're not.
yeah.
You know, that's the sign of a bad manager, bad promoter.
Oh wow! Okay.
Oh man.
He's calling you out, Anthony. He wants that main event spot. Give him that
He
main
really
event
does.
spot. See what he can do.
All I know is everybody that's quote unquote held the New South Championship
Uh huh.
has lost. Every other wrestler he's got in his promotion
Yeah.
has lost.
Have you thought about going for that championship? I think you.
Championship doesn't mean anything.
Well, I
to
think
me.
you should have both belts. Really,
It doesn't mean anything to me.
you can have the podcast belt too.
I told you. Here's the thing about that. Unless Kyle Maggard has it, it has no value.
Okay.
It has no value. All his quote unquote whoever their New South champion is, they all lose.
What do you think about the Nice Guy Andy podcast champion Zodiac? You've had a couple matches with him,
He
right?
used to be your best friend too.
Where do you get this best friend from?
You said it, Johnny.
At best,
Not I.
at best, he was a flunky. Take his microphone.
You're fired, Johnny.
You can fire
Sean,
me, but I don't
if Johnny
care.
messes up one more time, you're out of here.
Okay.
So tell us about Zodiac. Tell us about your relationship with Zodiac. Like,
Nothing to tell. I
He
show up
just
the
said-
first day of New South. I beat his ass. Next thing you know, he wants to hang out with me. Understandable. If I took an ass whooping like that, I'd want to hang out with me too. So I didn't take another one like that.
True.
yeah.
And then he got kind of What y'all do? Give him a belt?
He
Y'all
won
get-
it. He won it in an 8-man over-the-top rope battle royal.
8-man over the top rope battle royal.
Yeah, at what was the name
know,
of
here's-
the,
here-
that was a gentleman
Gentleman Jim Chadwick trip.
You know, the thing about an 8-man over the top rope battle royal is it doesn't mean you beat 8 men or anything like that. I mean, anybody can win one of those.
Yeah.
Can he line up across the ring one-on-one with somebody that's the caliber of Kyle Maggard and come out on top? No, because he's not done that twice. So
He's defended our belt all over Kentucky and Tennessee and Indiana.
And in Ohio.
Like,
I do
well, how
believe.
many defenses is it now? Like 10 to 12, maybe?
Something
Yeah.
like that.
It's pretty much.
well, he's
around
lucky
there.
he's not put it up against me. Because then I would have
wow.
your little rinky-dink belt.
Rinky Dink Bullshit Podcast belt.
You heard that, Zodiac?
Uh-oh.
They said you put that belt up against him. It's coming home with him.
I think I hear a challenge here. Hear a challenge.
I mean, he basically just said
He
hey, he's
don't-
never fought anyone like me.
Yeah.
Yet.
He said
I
it's,
mean-
it's definitely not jealousy. I have Anthony Presley saying this. I had a 20-year career, now own the best promotion in Kentucky with the best talent in the state. We are just getting started. He said maybe he can book that match with Zodiac.
Uh-oh.
He said maybe I can book that match. Zodiac would love that.
Oh,
That's
Zodiac
Game
would
Podcast
love that.
Championship
I mean,
versus-
Zodiac doesn't deserve a shot at my title. We'll wrestle for his little rinky-dink title. I mean, when he gets up to my level, he can have a shot at the belt. He's had a shot at the belt the other day in Wilmore. He didn't win it, obviously, because I walked in here with it, right? Okay, so why would I want to give him another shot? Listen, you want to get Kyle Maggard in the ring, give somebody that is worthy to wrestle me.
You want?
We were...
Who do you want to wrestle? Who's worthy? You think? Who's worthy?
There's nobody.
There's
worthy.
nobody worthy.
There's nobody worthy.
That's
I
right,
mean,
you heard him.
last I was told, my manager was told, was on September 10th. He was going to let Enzo challenge me for that championship. Then all of a sudden, everything's canceled. You know,
Yeah.
and the word on the street is it's because Enzo was too scared to have to wrestle me. So he canceled.
Maybe
the
that's
whole-
why he wanted.
He canceled
that's why
the
he just
whole
did the
night
autograph
and went
signing.
and just did an autograph signing.
Yeah,
with
maybe
little
that's why he came over here and did a podcast. Only stayed an hour. Maybe that's why he was in a hurry to get out of town because he knew
He knew Kyle Mack.
he probably thought you were going to show up.
Yeah. See, so Toni goes out and he gets him a quote unquote big star. He thinks can wrestle Kyle Maggard and can beat Kyle Maggard for this championship. And not only does he not do that, he's too scared to get in the damn ring with Kyle Maggard.
Oh, he left the state like
I mean,
quick
it's fast.
that night. Like that night, he didn't
rushed.
he didn't have no sleep. He got in the car and headed his ass down to
bounced.
Tennessee, Nashville. He got the hell out of the state. I felt first grade. I didn't add 2 and 2 together. So, I came up with, I didn't come up with Enzo who might be scared of Kyle Maggard. He just ran the hell out of town.
Scared.
He
That's
was,
right.
maybe that's
He took
why he
his
was
tail
talking
between his legs.
fast and stumbling through his words.
Well, that's not why he's talking fast and stumbling through his words, but
So, yeah, we want to see that match again. We want to see Enzo Amore against, or the real one against Kyle Maggard. I want to see that match.
Hey, there would be
That would
nothing
be
watch
good.
get Kyle Mack.
How about that, Anthony Presley? Let's make that happen at some point.
see, but that's another match that people want to see. And the only common denominator in all those matches is it's got Kyle Maggard.
That's true.
So if Anthony is a true promoter, he'll give the people what they want to see, the big money matches, and there's no bigger money match player than Kyle Maggard.
Facts.
I mean,
They would.
he's done everything to put the screws to you. Try to get James Storm take the belt. James Storm
See how
couldn't
that
do
worked
it
out
on
for
his
James.
best day.
Nope. Then they try to have me signed to wrestle him in some cage match whenever James Storm gets a free moment to come wrestle in New South.
Hello.
Anthony Presley.
Hey, how y'all doing?
We're doing good. You've
Nice
been
to hear from you.
you've been messaging. I thought you might want to talk to us.
Yeah, that's you got my Kentucky heavyweight champion up there in the studio. He's pretty arrogant. Have you opened up all the doors so he's got room for his head to fit out of there?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, he's been a great guest so far. We got a bunch of people watching.
You got to watch out now because he will get you to where he's got you all buttered up and you think that everything's going great, and then before you know it, the backlog of your podcast will have his name on it, and the money will be going to him and the monetization. So you got to watch it.
Well, we had that check that you cut us that went to that new sponsorship that you gave us, that big check that you cut us. I spent most of that, or pretty much all of it, on and I had to put some money with it to get Kyle Maggard in here in the studio. So we thank you very much for helping us out with that.
Well, it's okay. Just be very watchful because he will try to sell you premium air, and I'll go ahead and tell you there's no such thing. So just watch out. He's a slick one there.
He has officially changed the name of the podcast to the Kyle Maggard Podcast.
This is
you wait. It'll happen before you know it, and you'll be looking for a monetization check, and it'll be going to his house.
This is what's funny. So you got the promoter here of New South Wrestling calling in the dog, his Kentucky champion, as he said so. And he talked about having the top wrestling promotion. Well, if you look at every card, there's one constant. It's Kyle Maggard. He's on every card. Kyle Maggard always comes out on top on every card. If his wrestling promotion is the top or is the best, it's because Kyle Maggard is the horse that pulls the wagon. Okay? Kyle Maggard is what makes it go there in New South Wrestling. So the way I see it, son, you should be a little more grateful that you have Kyle Maggard on your card. That Kyle Maggard is your quote-unquote Kentucky champion. You should be a little more grateful and, maybe throw a bonus my way for all that I do for your promotion.
Well, you got a bonus last week, the last show that you got to wrestle on the show. I could have suspended you and sent you home, but I didn't. So you got a bonus. You got to wrestle, and I'll agree, and I'll admit that. And like I said on here before, is that you was the first person we went around the state and was watching people wrestle. You was the first person that we signed. You was the first person that I thought had all the talent and all the goods, but your attitude and ego has let me down all along the way, and I won't ever doubt how good of an athlete and performer you are. But the integrity part of you could stand up just a little bit more. So I'll never hold back about how good of a wrestler you are.
What was that you said?
So he's questioning my integrity, and this man, I'm going to have to challenge him to guns at 10 paces.
Uh-oh.
Oh, snap.
He's talking about dueling.
Uh-oh. He wants you to send the best.
Draw.
He wants a match with the best, Anthony.
Well, I had him set up against Enzo, but we have Enzo on tape saying that he didn't think that Kyle Maggard was good enough for him, and he really wants to wrestle Facade. So he said the next time that he comes in, he wants to wrestle Facade. He said he thought the Facade was a lot more talented than Kyle Maggard, and so I don't know what I'm going to do there.
You know what? It seemed like to us that Enzo rushed out of here really quick, and almost like he was scared that Kyle Maggard was going to show up.
Well, I'll have to talk to Enzo. I don't know if that was the case or not, but he wasn't there long.
No, he wasn't. He, it kind of like I didn't add. I failed first grade, so I didn't add 2 and 2 together. So, but now that Kyle brought it to my attention, Enzo was he was in a hurry to get out of town.
Well, you know what? Whatever we do bring Enzo in again, the thing about it is Kyle Maggard will be on the card. That's one thing I will guarantee is that any card that we have, Kyle Maggard will be on the card because Kyle Maggard is one of the best wrestlers in the state of Kentucky. He does take some shortcuts and things that he does not have to do, but he does those things. But I will not ever say that he's not a top performer, because that's why he got the shot at the Kentucky heavyweight title in the first place, is because he is one of the very best wrestlers in the state. And I won't hold that against him. I'll say that.
Notice the imagery. We're in the Bluegrass State. What do you think of? Horses, right?
Horses.
I'm the horse that pulls the wagon.
The stallion.
State champion.
All the
All right?
Kyle the
I'm
Stallion.
Yeah,
not just one. I am the cornerstone.
The thoroughbred.
I am the pillar. That's right. I'm the thoroughbred.
Thoroughbred.
Well, and the thing about Kyle Maggard too that I will say is that when we went searching and looking at him, we did not just go to one place and he was at that one place. We went to multiple promotions and he was ripping it up and killing it at every promotion he was at. Somewhere along the way, though, Kyle Maggard had a change of attitude, and so we'll just see if that ever changes. But as of right now, I don't like his attitude and I don't like his tactics, and his arrogance. But I have to say that he's, like I said, one of the very best wrestlers, and I would agree that he's probably the very best Kentucky heavyweight champion out there anywhere. There's only about 2 or 3 other ones that I know of, and he's better than all of them. So
yeah, of course he is. He's our New South Kentucky champion, Kentucky heavyweight champion.
He's right. I am, of all the people he has scouted, I am at every promotion. My phone rings from every promotion, not in this state, but all the states, wanting Kyle Maggard on their card because they knew what he knows, that I'm the man. I'm the big money draw. He knew that. He don't want to admit it, but he knows that.
I think he's admitted it.
All these other quote-unquote professional wrestlers, they don't want to leave outside their backyard. They want to wrestle in front of mommy and daddy and all their other brothers and sisters or brother, sister, cousins, or whatever they got.
Sister's girlfriend.
They want,
cousin girlfriend.
Exactly. They want to go 20 miles down the road and think they're a star. Well, I can tell you what, boys, you're never going to be the star that Kyle Maggard is. You're never going to shine like Kyle Maggard shines for years.
And I will say this: he is right about the other Kentucky heavyweight champions. Is that you have Kentucky champions in Louisville and other places, and those ones in Louisville they never leave Louisville. They never leave Louisville, so they should really be the Louisville heavyweight champion, but they don't leave that area, and there's other ones that don't. And I will say Kyle Maggard has went to multiple promotions and defended that title.
And he goes to other states and takes the Kentucky championship to other states and defends it.
That's right.
Yeah, and we're totally 100% okay with that. When I was in the NWA in my career, it was the same thing. I defended the New South Cruiserweight title and the NWA Southern Tag Team titles everywhere I went. I defended them here in Kentucky. I defended them in Tennessee, and that's what a real champion is when they go multiple places.
Just like the Nice Guy Andy podcast champion, he has defended that belt probably about 10 times everywhere he goes. So.
Yeah, I've had promoters call me quite a bit and say, "Hey, is it okay if we use that title?" I said, "Definitely. That's what he's a fighting champion, and that title is up for grabs." So he's defended that a lot of places, and that's what it's all about. It's all about working with each other and helping each other, and trying to help wrestling in the whole state grow. And you have some promotions who are all about that and want to do that, and then you have some that are to themselves and want to kind of be, the old Carney days of not wanting to do anything but help themselves. And we're not about that. We're about trying to help wrestling grow in the whole state for the whole, all of the wrestling fans in the state, and not just in the state, because we're on pay-per-view as well. So
everywhere.
People watch us everywhere.
That's what the podcast is about too, is we're trying to put over indie wrestling everywhere. Kentucky mainly because that's where we're at, but Tennessee, Indiana, Gaston's from Indiana. He's the champion down here. He's a champion down here in Kentucky. We're just trying to put wrestling over everywhere.
That's right.
Well, that's what a lot of people don't realize. A lot of these indie promotions, a lot of them, they have a lot of local guys who are close by them, and they have those guys. Our promotion is a little different. We have most of our talent is from other states than Kentucky. They travel pretty far distances to be on our show and wrestle on our show. So it's not like it's just local guys that you see around Kentucky all the time. I mean, you got people coming as far as Pennsylvania, You got them from Tennessee. They're coming up from Ohio, or down from Ohio, coming over from West Virginia. We've got them from California, Florida. I mean, they're coming from everywhere.
Exactly. Well, Anthony, thank you for calling us, and thank you.
Anthony,
Well, you
thanks
called
for
me.
calling and talking about
Well, thank you for taking my call.
You called him.
Thank you for taking my call. And
You're welcome.
We're gonna get off here. Thank you for that big check you helped us out with too.
Hey, before you lock up there tonight, just check everything over real good and make sure that he hasn't went in there and changed anything to Kyle Maggard on it, because you better be real careful. You might go try to get in there tomorrow and the locks might be changed. It'll be Kyle Maggard's studio.
I know, right?
So you got to watch him. He's real sneaky.
We got Peyton Bowman calling us. I'm gonna get off here, Anthony.
All right.
Thank you.
Sounds good, guys.
I
All
missed
right.
this call.
Appreciate you.
I missed this call. You know Peyton Bowman? Of course you do. You know everybody.
He doesn't just know him.
They know him. That's how I go sometimes. Peyton, what's up, Peyton?
Hey, what's up?
You know this guy we got here, Kyle Maggard?
I'm pretty familiar with Mr. Kyle Maggard.
You like to say something nice to him?
Would I like to say something nice to Mr. Kyle Maggard?
Yeah, he is our
Right.
Kentucky heavyweight champion.
He is. He's a heck of a talent. He ran. He was on top of Appalachian Mountain Wrestling for a long time. Promotion that I watched and wanted to be a part of for a really long time. And I have nothing but good things to say about Mr. Kyle Maggard.
Awesome. So you want to tell us where you've been doing and where you've been at?
Last Friday, I was up in Jeffersonville for Paradigm Pro Wrestling. That was an awesome show. Nothing too crazy happened to me there. It was a long show, wrestled a lot of matches.
And they're on pay-per-view, aren't they?
Well, they're on IWTV, which is like a subscription-based service. So
Okay.
it'll be live on their service. I'd say a couple of weeks from now.
Okay.
But it's all edited in post-production. So that one was not live on their paid service. But the next night, last Saturday, was RWA, Revolutionary Wrestling Alliance in Tennessee. And, that was a fun show for Larry Cooter's birthday bash. And the main event was a country whipping match with the shot callers Jacob Ratliff and Adrian Alexander taking on the Tennessee Assault Crew. Uncle Biff and Larry Cooter, and that match went about probably close to 45 minutes. It was all balls turning anywhere, just a crazy brawl. It was crazy. It was a really fun match, though. So that was my weekend. That was a weekend last week.
All right, awesome.
That is awesome.
But what's that?
I said that was awesome.
Oh, I got you. But in terms of wrestling this weekend, I looked at the KBWA calendar and not too much going on. OVW is putting on a couple of shows, so I'd say if you're looking to go to a wrestling show this weekend, I would say. And
Kyle said, "Who cares?"
Who cares?
Listen, Bowman. If Kyle Maggard's on the card, nobody cares. Nobody cares who's wrestling what. If Kyle Maggard's not on the card, then the card is obsolete.
Well,
it doesn't matter, son.
Well,
I know
that's.
I know you don't understand that, so here's what I want you to go do. I want you to get out of your, go upstairs out of your parents' basement, and I want you to go in there and ask your mom and dad what it means to watch wrestling and to watch a program, to watch it on TV, or to go watch it live and look at the card and not see Kyle Maggard on there, and they will tell you it doesn't matter. That program, that card does not matter without Kyle Maggard on it. So don't tell these people where quote unquote some rinky-dink wrestling's at, because if Kyle Maggard's not on there, it's not worth watching.
All right, you heard it. You heard it from the man himself. It doesn't matter.
That's
Wrestling in Kentucky doesn't matter because Kyle Maggard only works one show. So New South's the only show that matters then.
Now tell us where you're going.
You heard it.
Tell us where you're going to be at next, Peyton.
I will be on the Turnbuckle Terminal podcast this Friday night.
Okay, cool.
You can find that on their Facebook page. And
what is it called again?
I do not. The Turnbuckle Turmoil podcast, or it might be radio.
Turnbuckle Turmoil Radio. Okay.
I'm gonna be a guest on their show this Friday.
Shout us out.
Oh, I will for sure.
Okay.
But I believe that's it. I don't think I'm anywhere next weekend. That I work for the EKU's sports broadcasting department, so football and fall sports is picked up. So
okay, so you're over there doing some commentary and some play-by-play.
No, just working with video stuff. So
okay.
Yeah, no, not as cool as you guys getting to be on the camera and be the voices of the program. But
we'll definitely have you back in sometime.
Camera, so.
Whenever you get free, let's have you back in here.
For sure.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, take it easy.
Thank you, Peyton.
See you guys.
Warm chalky milk.
That was Peyton Bowman. He's got the inside scoop with all the pro wrestling around the state of Kentucky and Indiana.
Kyle just said,
and
none of that matters because he's not on it.
Yeah.
How would you rate him as an official, Kyle?
As an official, let me see. I don't normally give credit when it's not deserved. But Bowman doesn't do a bad job. I mean, he's not counting my shoulders down, so there you go.
That's
yeah.
true.
Yeah.
And he has officiated.
Well, he'll probably never do that. He'll probably never do that.
I don't think that he'll ever do that because no one's ever seen Kyle Maggard's shoulders on a man.
Sean, you got anything to say? You got any questions to ask, buddy? You're over there act like you got some questions for the champ.
He's kind of answered everything that we've asked. Smart guest. This is my busy day today. I'm getting rest. But no,
Johnny, you got any questions?
And I'm kind of nervous being in the presence
of. How does it feel
of
to be the greatest pro wrestler in Kentucky?
Well, you know, I mean, you get used to it after a while. I mean, at first, you know, it was kind of, but now I'm just, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You get accustomed to being who you are.
You get recognized everywhere you go.
I do.
Hell yeah, he would because he's the greatest star in Kentucky.
How hard is it to be humble?
I feel like I'm a very humble person. Not very hard at all to be humble. I mean, do I not act humble on your show?
No, you're very humble. You're awesome.
I think in this studio right now, humble is just going around. You all are.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it.
Right, the humble pie.
There's a line. You are not conceited. You are convinced. For those that don't understand that, which I know Kyle does, so he don't need to hear this. It's when you're conceited, you think very highly of yourself, but when you're convinced, there's no doubt about it, you are.
You are who you say you are. You are who you are who you are. You're the star that you are.
Conceited, what's
that? This man is not conceited.
Not conceited.
Sure. He is humble. And plus, you're never going to see his shoulders on Matt. That's a fact.
Never.
Kyle's such a cool guy. He wears shades in a dark room.
That's right. He wears his sunglasses.
Well,
I wear sunglasses because my stars shine so bright. I don't want to blind myself.
Yeah,
that's true.
Gotcha.
The lights do get a little bright in here sometimes.
Yep.
Brighter now.
But his light shines brighter than any of these lights.
So what do you see? What do you see in the future for Kyle Maggard? Like, you know, you're going to add on to some of those Kentucky. Are you okay just being the Kentucky champion, or you want to? I know that's the best championship there is, but do you want to like collect some more belts with that one, or you just, you already at the top. What is there something?
Well, it's kind of like.
You're just putting the time in now, or
I'm kind of feeling like Michael Jordan. Nobody can beat me, so it may be time to go.
The GOAT, okay.
Maybe time to go. I mean,
retirement.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, until there's somebody that can present a challenge
for this championship, what's the point?
Exactly.
That
Well,
is
I mean,
true.
I'd feel the same way if everyone else.
I hope that does. I hope that's not
Wasn't
true.
worth it.
I wouldn't want to see that. I wouldn't want to see you
mean-
retire.
I mean, you know, I know Mr. Anthony there is all high and mighty on this misery guy. That's why he booked him as a surprise opponent for me.
Yep.
The first time I ever laid eyes on the guy.
Yeah.
But because he can't stand me being the Kentucky champion, and he wants to take that title off my waist. So he thought, hey, I got this big, stupid-looking feller here in a mask. Kyle won't be ready for him, so we'll bring him out as a surprise, and he'll take Kyle's title. Boom.
Yeah.
That didn't happen. So, I mean,
He tricked you somehow. He tricked the official somehow of disqualifying you.
you know, now Lemon Juice has come up with this great idea of making this guy jump through hurdles and making him run this gauntlet. If he can beat all these wrestlers that Lemon Juice has lined up, and then he can have a shot at the title. Then he can be worthy to have a shot at the title. But here's what's going to happen when if he does finally get that shot at the title, I'm just going to go into GOAT mode and it's over.
Yeah.
That's right.
You're just going to take him out. Yeah.
Now,
And
is
you
the
all-
mask
Now,
on the line
The
in
mask
each
is
match?
in each match. So
Each
whenever
match.
he finally loses, because we know he's not going to run the gauntlet. I mean, he's big, he's strong. He's probably the largest athlete or one of the largest athletes, I'll say that, in professional wrestling. But I don't know that any man other than myself can run a gauntlet like
Yeah.
this. So
Does he talk? I don't even. Have you heard him talk? Did he talk to you?
He kind of mumbled
he grabbed the
something.
microphone and mumbled something very slowly, I might add.
Yeah. Yeah.
He said, "All you clock."
Yeah.
That's what he said.
He did what? He said what?
He said, "All." That's what he said.
Huh?
I couldn't understand that.
I accept or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it was like how I just did it.
Oh,
That's
okay.
exactly how he sounded.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you know that mask makes him pretty sound dumb.
Well, is it the mask or is he just dumb?
He probably is both.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a big guy.
He's a big guy, but Kyle Maggard still beat him.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
Anthony
do it
Presley
again.
said he's under a long contract. He isn't retiring.
Oh, he said you're not retiring. You're under a long contract.
Uh-oh.
Oh wow.
The reason he doesn't want me to retire, because when I retire, I'm taking that with me.
He probably took out a big mortgage on his house to get you signed to New South Wrestling. He probably wants his.
He knows Kyle
Probably
Maggard.
trying to get that money back. His house is probably on the line.
Well, that's on him to figure out. Until he can present somebody worthy of a challenge for me for that championship, then it is.
He's
what it
going to
is.
keep trying. He's going to keep trying.
It's hard getting up and being the man every day, knowing that you are the man, and there's nobody that can come after you. And
Yeah.
I just get up now. I live with that. You don't understand how heavy of a burden that is to get up and just have to be the man all the time.
I mean, that's facts.
It's probably it's kind of like it's probably
It is a burden being the man, but I feel if there's anybody that can do that and can carry that burden, I've got the biggest shoulders and I can do that. So that's what I do, and I do that for all the people out there. Believe it or not, even the ugly and stupid ones, I do that for them. I'm the man for them. I try to give them hope that that the stupid ones can get smart.
So
one
you're the
day, and
people's.
ugly ones.
You're really the
Such a
people's
humble
champion.
man.
I'm exactly. I'm the people's champ. I try to inspire the dumb ones to get smart and the fat ones to get skinny.
Yeah.
Okay. That is a lot on a person.
Yeah, it is.
That
It's-
really is.
Yeah.
then I have to go out there. I have to train. I have to be in tip-top shape. The top athlete that I am, and I got to go in there.
It's hard
And
being number one.
And I got to wrestle people that I don't know who my opponent is. I've done that 2 or 3 times, and I've come out on top. That's a lot on a man.
Yeah, it's
I
usually
mean,
like that. It's usually like
But your shoulders are broad enough to handle it. But
That is
still,
true.
just because
Nobody's
you
got
carry
broader
it well
shoulders
doesn't
than
Didn't you have
to-
to?
not have
You
it.
had 2 matches last. Did you have 2 matches last to card?
Just
Crossfire?
one.
Just the one?
No, I
Just
beat
one.
your boy Zodiac.
Oh
Clear-
yeah. Okay. You
clear
did
in the
beat
ring.
Zodiac.
Right in the
Yeah.
That's
middle.
true.
It was
That is very true.
non-title match. Zodiac had 2 matches.
Yep,
That's
he
what-
had 2 matches that
Zodiac
night.
had 2 matches.
Yeah, one against you. And
He
one
is our
against
champion.
Triple Threat.
But then
He
he
is our
saved
champion.
the show with the commentary.
I mean, it's hard being number one when you're Kyle Maggard.
Yeah.
It is hard being at the top. I just
We saved the show too. We were invited to the show just to watch, and then Anthony comes out and asks us a favor for me to go out, and we had to go out and save the day during the mission.
The only regret is that
Intermission.
I didn't get to go to the show.
Huh?
The only regret is that I didn't get to go to the show.
Johnny wasn't there.
Bandito.
That's right. Fandito was there. We did get to it was fun getting in the
I
booth.
wanted to meet
Fandito, you know where's
My
Fandito?
brother, he's on his way.
He's messaged me a couple times through, over the course of the few weeks. I really like that guy. This
Yeah.
guy, not so much.
Yeah, well, Fandito, Fandito's not very nice to him sometimes.
He's not.
Is he coming? Is Fandito
He
coming?
told me that he's on his way.
Oh, okay.
He'll
You
let
might,
me
you
know.
might get to meet Fandito if he gets here. He's a party animal. He's out drinking tequila all the time
And
in
he's always in Tijuana, Mexico.
Tijuana, Mexico. So,
And he's a big fan of Kyle Mack.
is he? Is
Yeah.
he?
Who wouldn't be a big fan of Kyle?
I know, right?
I'm a fan of Kyle Maggard. I
And
remember
Guevara definitely
in
was.
2008, I know we told the story, but I'll tell it because it was my story to tell. Kyle Maggard was coming out, and you had it was summertime. You were coming out with the Super Soaker, trying to get the fans happy.
He's in the National Guard Army.
National-
Same place I beat Misery.
Yes, sir. And I was working security. We had a couple of fans that didn't like me for some reason. That's their loss. And they told
Exactly. They're lost.
they told you to spray me. So you had me turn around and you pumped the gun up and sprayed me right on the backside for a good minute.
Was it
Just stood there?
in the back? Okay, so nobody
Well,
could see your
my-
nipples.
No, they got me right on the back.
Yeah.
So you turned around.
I turned around
Spray-
unless you spray me.
He said,
I didn't
don't
say. I
think-
never said I was the sharpest tool in the shed. So.
You don't let Kyle Maggard do anything. Kyle Maggard just decides to do whatever he wants to do. Is that right, Cal?
That's exactly right.
Exactly. You didn't let him.
I've
He
got one
just
in the
did it.
chamber right now, but I'm holding back. There may be young children watching. I'm not gonna address anything that you just said. But after the show goes off, ask
With-
me about it.
With the Super Soaker, not any other way.
Oh, wow. Oh, Fandito's here. He just messaged me. I'm here. Let me in. You gonna let Fandito in?
Yeah, I gonna let the goof in.
And while you're at it, bring me a water.
Okay, bring him a water. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Gotta stay hydrated, boys. You're a top athlete like myself. You've got to stay hydrated.
Gotta stay hydrated.
That's
Oh,
exactly
Action
right.
Bronson's up there. Daddy Magic. Cool Hand. Daddy Magic and Cool Hand.
Amigo,
Fandito!
I just had to be in here for Kyle Mack.
So, did you fly in from Mexico today? Did
Yes,
you
I did,
just got
because
back
as soon as
in?
I heard his name. I had to be in here.
Matty Fox.
So, Fandito has his own private jet, so he just kind of flew
Oh,
in
yeah, I
here
have one
from
of
Mexico. You got one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just had to meet Kyle Mack.
All we
Man,
have on the
met
podcast is a
legend
helicopter. So,
Right there.
We got
That's
a
the only
hang
child that matters.
glider.
And that's the only wrestler right there that matters in Kentucky right now. And also all over this country. That man has the seal of
and in
Fandito's
Mexico.
people.
In Mexico, did you, if you and Kyle Maggard, didn't y'all tag team down in Mexico? Who'd y'all wrestle?
We have tag teamed together in wrestling. Our opponents that night,
You was too drunk. You was drinking his tequila that night.
Yes.
You don't remember, Cal.
hey, it ain't my fault. Sometimes when you Fandito,
Who did y'all wrestle that night, Fandito?
we wrestled Los Conquistadores.
Okay.
What's the-
That's what they call
Okay.
themselves.
Okay.
Okay.
Did y'all win? I'm sure y'all
Yeah,
won.
Of course
we
they won.
You know, he got the win right there.
Okay.
He pinned that goofy looking dumb ass. My bad. Excuse my language.
God.
But sometimes you just gotta look. You just gotta let the
A look on
champion-
your face sometimes. It's like
I'm serious though.
You wanted to beat Bandito.
That man
You asked for this.
is a champion right there. Everyone knows when Kyle Maggard's inside the room or inside the building, he's gonna sell out wherever he goes. And you better hope, Anthony Presley, that this man doesn't retire, because when he does,
We're hoping to get
he's taking
Bandito.
that home.
We're hoping to get Bandito in the ring for the next New South Wrestling promotion show.
Hey, you might never know. It could happen.
It might happen.
Right.
So let me ask
Bandito
y'all
against
this.
Kyle Maggard. That's your main
Is
event
there any?
right there.
I know you want to pick Bandito's head. He's been in his wrestling business for a long time. Is there any questions you want to ask Bandito? He had to take his glasses off
He
for this
even
one,
took his
Bandito.
glasses off.
Kind of looks familiar, huh?
He's like, when did I team with him?
It was Mexico, man. You know,
It
what is it?
was Mexico. It would have been way back when.
You know, yeah.
After all, he's been inside the wrestling business for 20 years.
Oh my God. Bandito's been champion. How many belts did you have, Bandito?
I just added my 37th championship when I won the former NiceGuyAndy Digital Media Championship to my reign and gifted it to my El Champiano, Leon Lexington.
Yeah,
Kiss
okay.
Who?
Leon Lexington.
Who's that?
He's it's my son. He's
is
he's
his
the he's the podcast champion. We do a little we don't wrestle, but we do we watch the pay-per-views and we give each other points on who picked the we do like a little trivia kind of thing. Not really a trivia, but who picks the right match, and
Is it
we
like
have extra
fantasy
points.
football?
Something like
kind
that.
of,
Yeah.
but
Yes,
like
like
it
that.
happens like during the pay-per-view, and then like this is the new belt.
You have to predict who wins and who's going to lose.
This is the
and
new
sometimes
belt for
bonus
that.
points,
We
too.
haven't. We just haven't crowned. We retired the old belt because it was one of those. What was it? Where was it come from?
Undisputed belts.
Yeah.
The
maybe.
undisputed belts. It was like.
And it wasn't in good shape.
So this is the new belt here. This is the rinky-dink bullshit podcast champion.
Made by the man from Pakistan, Muhammad Jafar.
Hey, Dingo, go get me a garbage can.
Wouldn't you like to you wouldn't like to be the champion of that belt?
Come on, Kyle.
Here you go.
Oh, come on now.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow. Stiff.
What Kyle Maggard wants, Kyle Maggard gets.
Jordan Ludrick, thanks for watching.
Anyways,
Who's watching?
Jordan Ludrick. I can't pronounce it. I'm sorry. If I butchered the pronunciation, I'm sorry.
Listen, son, if you don't have a name people that can pronounce, you need to go right now to City Hall or wherever you need to go and change that.
get you an alias.
That's facts. Get you an alias.
Maddie Fox says, hey, everybody. Jose
Megan
Dita.
Fox?
Maddie Fox.
Yeah.
You had the man's hopes up. Megan Fox would have been
I
special.
wish.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if Megan Fox was watching, it'd be this episode.
Of
Yeah,
course
exactly.
she would.
Exactly, because you are a bona
I hear
fide
Tony.
star.
I heard Tony Khan's actually watching us tonight.
He probably is.
We've
He-
joked about that, but then
You
some
know,
things actually happen.
Tony Priestley's not the only Tony that calls my phone.
Is
That's
that?
right.
Oh, okay.
True.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Tony Montana, Tony Khan.
Amigos, let me tell you.
Tony Presley.
Tony Khan's probably hitting up
Mary.
Kyle Maggard today.
That's Fandito and Johnny Lee's mom, Mary. She's watching.
Oh, Mary.
She's more his mode than
I'm going to have to
mine.
get a restraining order on her.
Stay out
I
of
believe
Kyle
it.
Maggard's.
Stay out of his DMs.
She
No,
probably
just-
always inside his DM.
She-
She probably messaged him on all social media.
Did you lock your car when you came up here? She may be in your back seat.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Who else is?
He said Tony the Tiger calls him. Dang, Mr. Presley.
Tony the guy.
Alyssa Klein, thanks for watching.
They're great.
Tony don't like you, does he?
He
Yeah, he
don't.
likes you, but he don't.
I was sitting there listening, and it
Tony
sounds like
likes the money that I bring Tony. That's what Tony likes.
Tony likes the money.
That's true, amigo.
And don't let him sit there and talk about integrity and some crap like that and Kyle Maggard's attitude change, blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day, the bottom line is Tony only cares about the amount of money that Kyle Maggard puts in his pocket. Don't let him fool you. That's the only thing he cares about.
That's why he don't want you to retire. Because if you retire,
You're
company
taking that
goes
belt
down.
Whip for you too.
Take the money with you.
What else? Anybody else texting us?
He will not.
Scorpy Boo says, hey, Jose Dito.
Hey, Scorpio Boo.
Okay.
One of Scorpy Boo's cousins. Fandito's cousins. So,
But Johnny's.
yeah,
cousin
same
that
difference.
she
Well,
hates.
still your cousin.
Well,
Your
fuck
twin
Johnny.
brothers.
How many
My bad.
cousins can you fit in that jet there, Bandito?
Probably all of them.
It's a big
It
jet.
is a very big jet.
It's bigger than a car, right?
Yep, it's bigger than a car.
You can get 10 or 12 in a car.
I could get 38 side of a plane.
38 inside your plane.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I just had to be here because Kyle Maggard, the greatest Kentucky champion there is, the only Kentucky champion in the state of Kentucky, and he's probably the greatest champion in the whole of North America.
There's no probably to it.
How about Mexico? Is that you or is that Kyle Maggard again?
Kyle Maggard and me both share Mexico's hearts.
So you versus Kyle Maggard, who's winning that match?
Kyle Maggard.
He's got you.
You know why? Because I wouldn't wrestle him. I'd do what I did with El Champiano. I'd lay down and let him pin me and give him the keys to Mexico.
Greatness
'Cause my
knows
man
greatness.
over there
That's right.
is a bona fide star.
He's just in it for the honor of saying he got pinned by Kyle Maggard.
I
That's
think
right.
so. Yeah, I think so.
That is right.
Doing it for clout.
I've never seen Fandito bow down to anybody. So
That's
Kyle,
right. I've never bowed down to
Well,
anyone.
he'd go down on and be on the list, the long list, of a long line of people that have been beaten by Kyle Maggard.
Yeah, that is
So-
right.
yeah, top of the list.
That's right.
Fandito is a legendary luchador.
I have been all over the place.
And then Presley said the mayor is
Obviously, he
worried.
competes in the heavyweight division.
Huh?
He obviously competes in the heavyweight division.
Yeah, he does.
That's true.
I think super heavyweight maybe.
I competed inside cruiserweight division. I competed inside heavyweight division as well.
Did you fought Butterbean one time? Didn't you?
Yeah, Butterbean.
You beat Butterbean up once.
Butterbean couldn't learn how to throw a hurricanrana to save his life.
Now listen, if you want to be like your idol Kyle Maggard, the first thing you got to do is learn that we don't lie, son. You've never competed in a cruiserweight division. Never in your life.
Yeah.
That's true.
At
You got
best,
me.
at best, it's been junior heavyweight.
He's
At
ate a
best.
lot. He's been on the Bean Burrito. He's got a Bean Burrito company that sponsors him, so he has to eat a lot of bean burritos. So he's packed on a little weight there but if
It's true.
Fandito wants to get in shape, he'll get in shape
It's
for his
true,
matches.
I've wrestled only in junior.
He's
heavyweight division.
semi part-time retired right now. Fandito is.
And I'm the secret sponsor to this podcast.
He's a secret
Well,
sponsor.
not anymore, though.
That's true.
You can't say I'm the secret sponsor.
But everyone
Because
always
the
knew.
second you say it, it's not a secret.
This is like Chris Blade saying that he was. Don't tell nobody that I'm going to be wrestling this week.
I said the
Oh,
don't.
yeah.
That I'm going to be training wrestling this weekend.
And then forgetting they told everybody.
Oh wow.
I
Oh,
just
so
gotta
let's
say,
talk about our sponsors again. Our new sponsors is New South Pro Wrestling.
Lucky to have me.
They're lucky to have you. That's
right, they're looking
Kyle
at-
Maggard is the Kentucky heavyweight champion of those guys, and he's carrying the company over there. That's why it was
I rock
Just
it like a
happened.
newborn baby, son.
just happened that they became sponsored right before you came on the show.
Coincidence? I think not.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. And then we have who else is our sponsors?
Collar and elbow.
Collar Elbow brand. check them out. Type in code. Use promo code Andy10 at checkout. Get 10% off your order.
Collar and elbow. Funny thing is what these people, these jackasses out here in internet land don't understand is, you know, I'm in tight with a lot of people. When you're the man, people just want to be around you.
Of course.
Those people at Collar and Elbow, they want to be tight with Kyle Maggard.
Yes.
I bet 10-1 if I want to go down there and look at who orders what and who uses what code, I can find out. I'm pretty sure I can. I'm willing to bet the Kentucky Heavyweight Championship that I can. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to dare somebody to use your code.
Okay.
Because if I find out they did and they don't use my code, I'm going to kick their ass.
Okay.
I didn't know you had a code.
A Leo, or one other.
This is Leon Lexington.
Male Champion.
Leon Lexington.
What a momentous occasion. You got the GOAT in there with Kyle Maggard.
That is true.
The fence. What now?
You have the GOAT in there. You have the GOAT in there with the Kentucky Heavyweight Champion. It's a big deal.
It's a very big deal.
Oh, he says Fandito's better than...
Kyle Maggard's looking at you awful funny. He's the GOAT, he says.
I mean, does Kyle Maggard have a lucrative tequila deal? I don't know about that one.
No, but Kyle Maggard has a size 14 that can fit squarely in your ass, son. If you better watch out and be careful. And you're lucky of two things. One, you're not in studio, and two, I'm wearing a $600 pair of Air Jordans that I don't want to brown up, okay? So chill right now.
I'm never in studio.
Just tread this water lightly, because next I see you, it may be the last time anyone sees you. So
all right,
this is your disclaimer. This is your warning. Tread lightly, tread carefully.
Let me refer that the greatest Kentucky professional wrestler to ever live is in studio with Bandito. Is that better?
No, the greatest professional wrestler to ever live. Quit trying to paint me into a box,
the greatest.
Okay?
He's
the greatest professional wrestler ever to lace up a pair of boots, step in the ring, and kick some ass in there with the late great Bandito.
That's better, but funny thing is, my boots zip up. They do. I don't like the laces. They take.
Tony Presley also said, "Tossing the Sauce Wings restaurant. They catered the Enzo show, and those wings were fire."
Oh yeah, they did.
They were.
Tossed in the sauce wings. You can't forget about them.
So Kyle Maggard, how bad would you have kicked Enzo's fucking ass? How bad would that ass beating have been?
Watch your language with Kyle Maggard in
He
studio,
said as long as
please.
you don't drop the F word, we're good, right?
Oh, sorry.
Just don't drop the F word, we're good.
Now, what was you saying about kicking somebody's ass?
Enzo, he wants to know
how did Enzo get out of that ass kicking?
Well,
That's what I want to know.
He cried to the promoter and said, "Tony, I can't beat Kyle. I don't even think we should have a show. I don't want to make an appearance and get my ass whooped."
he was kind of like soon as
He's kind of fidgety, wasn't he?
Soon as
he was kind of anxious and fidgety, I thought.
He got the hell out of town.
So that's the thing about people from, where's he from? New York?
He's from New Jersey.
New Jersey, New York, same thing. They think they're better than everybody else. And when he got to watching film, when he found out he was going to get a shot at the Kentucky Heavyweight Championship, he started watching film. I mean, he's a smart guy. He does his homework. You know, he's been a world cruiserweight champion. You know, he's been a world champion. He wouldn't be the first world champion that I've beat, by the way. And,
James Storm.
Yeah, among others.
Yes.
And, you know, he started watching film, and he realized that he didn't have a chance to beat Kyle Maggard. So the best thing for him to do to save face is probably give the promoter some of his money back. That way he didn't have to have a show and he didn't have to wrestle Kyle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard the sheriff escorted him out of Kentucky because he was so worried that Kyle Maggard was going to pull up, strip him out of his car like it was Grand Theft Auto.
Exactly.
So the thing about it is Kyle Maggard's not even that worried about Enzo. I wouldn't even think about it. I didn't do any film study. I didn't do anything like that. Hell, I was just going to show up, put my tights on, go out there, beat the hell out of him, and walk back home. I mean...
And zip up your boots.
No, I'll be unzipping my boots when I come back, so get
Yeah.
with it now.
Unzipping his boots.
Enzo ain't even worth your time because he sucks.
Well, the GOAT himself,
Fantino.
I just wanted to call in and tell y'all that the show was great. I've been listening to it all night at work. And for y'all to stay nice and be safe. And I'm going to get off here and get inside with the kids and listen to the rest of the show.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Leon.
Leon.
Thank you
All right.
very much.
Love y'all. Be safe.
What's up?
Peace.
Fantino.
I mean, it's facts.
Have you ever wrestled Enzo Fandito?
I have.
Oh, God.
You
Don't
have?
even.
And you know what?
Yeah.
I can remember from that match,
Yeah. What?
all he could do was run.
Yeah.
Because like he said when he was at that side,
He runs that mouth.
I can't wrestle. I'm just a talker.
Is that what he said?
So, yeah, that's exactly what he said. He can only talk. But when it comes down to get inside the ring, he can't do nothing. Because trust me, when I stepped inside the ring with him, he would have been running from Kyle Maggard the moment they got inside the ring. Because look how big Kyle Maggard is.
He's huge.
He's taller than Enzo. Enzo Moore is like, I mean,
You're probably the biggest, one of the biggest people I've had in here because I had to adjust your microphone up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably one of the bigger guys that I've had in here.
The real one stands. Now look at Kyle Mack. Kyle Mack is like a giant compared to him.
Just newsflash.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Most professional wrestlers that you see today,
Yeah.
including the ones on national television, probably haven't seen the inside of a gym.
Yeah.
Probably should be, I don't know, competing on cheerleading squads versus being actually in a wrestling ring.
Yeah.
Okay.
Facts.
Yeah.
So,
I agree with that.
I don't know. I feel like when you look back at the history of professional wrestling and professional wrestlers, that I'm out of place, I'm out of time. I belong somewhere in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
And even in the 90s.
How much are you bench pressing?
All of it.
All of it?
Yeah, he's a very strong man.
Yeah, you can tell he's huge.
All of it. All that I want to.
All that you want to. Okay.
If I don't want to bench press it, then I don't bench press it.
Yeah.
Damn straight. And you're right.
I need to take some motivation from you and get in there and start lifting myself.
Yeah, you do.
Same.
You do look like you belong in the 70s, 80s, and 90s because those guys, those are wrestlers that really did embody professional wrestling.
Right now, you've got a lot of boys playing in a man's sport.
Okay.
That's true.
There's not a lot of men left.
I think Daniel Bryan just broke his damn foot off.
What you just said is true.
Oh, snap.
There are a lot of little boys inside wrestling
He
business.
took that backdrop. He's selling that foot.
There's some that don't even want to learn.
You think it's a real work here? You think it's a real injury?
I don't know.
It might be
We'll see if she throws the X up.
If he's
Got the trainer out. So if the X ain't thrown up, I doubt it. He's selling.
he took his shoe off.
See, here's the thing about these guys right here. Don't get me wrong, top tier athletes. They got trainers, doctors there.
Uh-huh.
When I'm out there wrestling, there is no medics, there is no doctors. I go out there, I get beat up, I get banged up, I break stuff, I hurt stuff, go home, go to the hotel, go wherever, rest, shower, rest, get up the next day, hit the gym, go wrestle somewhere else. And with no medical attention, it is what it is. If stuff hurts, it hurts.
damn straight.
They probably got 1 million guys rubbing their backs and their arms and everything.
Anymore, it seems like anymore, these big time companies want to have medical professionals be out there.
Wise man
chasing you all the
has.
time.
I've heard a wise man say, "You'll never learn to work in this business until you learn to work hurt."
Damn straight.
I don't think Kyle Maggard ever gets hurt. Who can hurt him?
I don't think anybody could hurt him. They
Well-
sure as hell ain't gonna find him on the mat.
I've almost died twice in this business.
Really?
Oh, wow.
You want to tell us one of those stories? Or both of them?
Right here, and you may or may not be able to tell, I have a scar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay.
There- People watching at home, I'm pointing to the AEW on the TV screen here in the studio. So if you're wondering why the hell I'm pointing, that's why I'm pointing. Those ropes, they hook into the pole there.
Yeah.
The turnbuckles have a hook on them. The hook is like that, sideways.
Yeah.
I got my head shoved into said hook, poured the blood.
Oh, wow.
Went to the ER. They took out some fragments of my skull. They said if it had went about an inch more, it would have penetrated the skull entirely.
Oh, wow.
Goodness.
I have a scar.
Finish the match.
Yes, I finished the match.
Finish the match.
Finished the match.
Wow.
And
So what did they do about that? Did they just stitch it back up and let you go home, or
no, we glued it back up.
they glued it back
good
up?
Lord.
Did you spend the night in the hospital, or just no? He just went home. Shit. Was you
Then-
on the road? Where was you at?
Yeah, I was. No, I was in Hazard on that one.
Okay.
I was at home. I was wrestling in my hometown. So
Okay.
then, this right here, my leg that I'm pointing to, there's a scar about this big underneath my calf muscle. I went and picked up 7 foot, 500-pound Big Rig Jake Break, for those that know who I'm talking about.
Uh-huh.
Went to pick him up the first time in the match, and I couldn't get him up, and he fell on me. He fell on me, and he kneed me right here in the calf. When that happened, a huge hematoma swelled up. Now, before I continue with the story, I would like to add that to win the match, I physically picked up this 7 foot, 500-pound giant. And he's a solid 500 pounds.
Uh-huh.
And I slammed him, and I pinned him. He's the only person ever to slam this 7 foot, 500 pound monster.
With the injury.
With the injury. Barely could walk.
Wow.
So, go to the doctor. The doctor says hematoma, it'll go down with time. Well, they were wrong. After about a month and about 20 matches go by, my leg is swelled up the size of a small mountain, because my legs are already about the size of a
huge.
well,
Already.
the size of a large mountain, because my legs are the size of a small mountain.
Yeah.
Anyways, they have to put me into the hospital for 4 days. And they try to get the hematoma to go down. Upon this, infection sat in my leg and had creeped up almost to my crotch. And if it had made it up there was nothing they could do, and I would have died.
Oh my goodness.
So, but the night that I went to the ER, I had to go to the ER when they put me in the hospital. I was at wrestling matches, getting ready to go out and kick somebody's ass on one leg.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And the promoter at the time wouldn't let me go. He wouldn't let me go out and compete. And I stayed till the end of the night to make sure that I couldn't compete. And if anything else needed done, I was going to do it, because I was going to get in that ring one way or another. So I didn't go to the ER until after the ring was torn down and everything. So it was like 12 o'clock at night. So
Okay.
I stayed through, it was a Friday, I stayed through Monday. They did my surgery on Monday morning.
So what you're saying is you're dedicated to this business. It's your love. It's your dedication.
What I'm saying is, you have guys, the contemporary professional wrestlers today, and I've heard them all say this. Oh, well, I can't go wrestle. That's too far away. I can't drive that far because I got to work the next day. I got to get up early and go to work. My wife won't let me. My mom won't let me. So, no, I got a paper cut. I can't wrestle. I hear all that stuff from all the wrestlers of today's generation.
Yeah.
And I'm just over here for 20 years doing my thing.
So what Kyle's saying is stop being pussies.
Grow us say it.
Scared.
He's saying grow us say it. Stop being scared to get hurt.
Yeah.
He said at the last show, Lemon Juice tried to give Lady mouth to mouth. He told her he was a medical professional. And Kyle Maggard was trying to do chest compressions.
Who said that?
Mr. Presley.
Well, I thought his mom was going to die.
Oh, yeah.
I
Oh.
was just helping her out.
Oh, wow.
Hey, he's right. He was just trying to help her out.
Yeah, you got to help,
Anthony Presley tried to paint the ass out of bad light. Come on, Anthony. He's trying to save your mom. And Limp Juice was too.
Yeah.
Kyle Maggard's a very humble guy.
Who won the match earlier?
Moxley beat Sammy Guevara.
Okay.
And, it's John Moxley against Bryan Danielson. A rematch from Revolution.
Daniels just won, didn't he? Oh,
Bryan
that's the
Danielson.
Danielson just won. That's the Blackpool Combat.
Yeah, and they're part of the
That's
Blackpool Combat
They
Club.
got to go against each other.
Yeah.
And that's who's going to be crowned, right? The champ of that match?
Yeah, winners
That's true.
champion.
And that's the real champions. That's not a
It's not the
not the
interim.
interim. And he's got a bad wheel too. Who you think Danielson's going to win? You think?
I don't know.
Danielson could win, but I think they're going to go John Moxley retain.
Yeah,
No William Regal there. He's solid.
badass.
Yes, he
He
is.
is
Yes, he
badass.
is.
I met him one time down in let's see what Knoxville.
You met him in Knoxville?
We did I was on a tribute show. It was a pay-per-view for Bobby Eaton. You know, him and Bobby Eaton was in WCW as the Blue Bloods.
Yeah.
Yep. So he was there, and a bunch of other guys from WCW and the NWA that Bobby had wrestled with over the years. So one of the first matches that I got to have early in my career, I tagged with a guy by the name of BJ the DJ.
Okay.
And we wrestled in Pikeville, I believe it was. We wrestled against, believe it or not, Bobby Eaton and Ricky Morton.
Oh, okay.
wow.
You know, rivals for over all the years, but we wrestled against them. That's
Okay.
one of the first times I ever met Ricky Morton.
Yeah.
And I hope Rick's watching.
Yeah.
I always hold Ricky in such high
He's
regard.
still wrestling, ain't he?
He does.
Yep.
He still wrestles. He's tagging right now with his son,
Uh-huh.
Harry. The Rock and Roll have done their farewell tour.
He was on that. He was on that Ric Flair show.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I really hold Ricky on the high regard because Ricky does a lot for every wrestling locker room, and stuff that you're supposed to do. He tries to give back to the younger generation and tries to teach them. Stuff changes. I've seen stuff in wrestling change in 20 years.
Yeah.
Stuff gets lost. There's lost arts that get lost. But Ricky tries to really teach that. He's got his school down there around Kingsport, Bristol. This little place called Chucky,
Yeah.
Tennessee. But Ricky is just great. It's great to have Ricky around in any locker room. You can't go wrong with Ricky Morton. I have to speak highly of you, Ricky, because I love you to death, brother.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
And he's really great.
Shout out to Ricky Morton. And hopefully someday we'll have him on the podcast. But guys, we've been sitting here 2 hours. I'm sure you got other things to do, Mr. Maggard. So I guess we're gonna call this.
He's a very busy man after all.
John Fandito, got anything to say?
All I can say is we were honored to have this man across here be in studio with us, the only Kentucky heavyweight champion, and the only Kentucky champion that also rules North America.
Okay, Sean, you got anything to say?
I want to thank Kyle O'Maggard for being in studio. Kyle O'Maggard. Sorry, sir. Kyle Maggard for being in studio.
The best.
I'll get slapped when the cameras go off. That's a joke.
You're fine.
He's nervous. He's never been this close to
greatness before. I'm
He's
sorry.
over his words.
Everybody stay nice.
I just want to shout out to the sponsors for the show: New South Wrestling, Wings and Tossed in the Sauce Wings Place, Royal Lex for all your internet gaming needs, Royal Dark. Am I forgetting anybody?
Collar and elbow.
Collar and Elbow.
Toss and the sauce wings.
Tossing the Sauce Wings.
Muhammad Jafar.
Jafar. And Cal Maggard, the mic is yours. Plug anything you need to plug. Say anything you want to say. Go ahead.
Just remember when you give a shout out to New South Wrestling for being a sponsor,
Yeah.
you're giving a shout out to me because I am New South Wrestling.
New South
sir.
Wrestling.
First and foremost, when you talk about wrestling in this state and in the broad area, you're talking about me. I am wrestling in and around this place, okay? So, I just want to remind you of that. So next time you give quote unquote New South or any other wrestling promotion a shout out, you're giving a shout out to me because I am wrestling. Okay, I am, especially Kentucky wrestling, because that belt says so. And lastly, let's shout out to my buddy Lemon Juice McGee, who texted me not too long ago. He said, "Hey man, I'm finally up." And I mean, he's real cryptic. I don't know. Like I said, he's got his days and nights mixed up. Seems like I don't hear from him when the light comes on, when the sun comes up, and then when the sun goes down, it's like he's a night owl.
Yeah.
Who knows what's going on with him? But he owns the largest pop and novelty and comic book store in the state of Kentucky, right there in Somerset. Lemon Juice McGee's Comic Cavalcade. Anybody that likes any of that stuff, I highly recommend you get your butts down to Somerset. Go visit Lemon Juice. Let him make some money off you. Give all your hard-earned money to him. Tell him I sent you because he owes me a cut every time of every sale when you mention my name in the cavalcade.
Okay.
And lastly, I have to say a real quick shout-out to the wife, to the kids, for letting me come down here tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, wife and kids.
Yeah. First she didn't want me to come.
You should have brought her with you.
Well, keep her home where she should be. At first she didn't want me to come because of Fandango's brother over there.
Yeah.
I don't know where he went, but I'm glad he's out of here.
Yeah, Johnny Lee.
Yeah, that Johnny Lee guy. Yeah, she said she just didn't like him. He seemed like a jerk.
Okay.
So she didn't want me to come, but then when she saw the check that you guys sent, she was okay with me coming. So I got to thank her for allowing me to have the night off to come out. And shout out to the kids. That's Kylia, Caleb, Colton, and Kyler. Yeah, I have 4 kids. So
And they're all named after you.
They all start with K's, too.
Okay, yes.
Oh. So, but other than that, guys, I guess I can thank you all for having me, although you're more than welcome to continue to grace me with your thanks because it's well-deserved in my part because your viewership went through the roof.
It did, right? It did.
Greatest champion ever.
Thank you so much for coming and taking your time out to drive as far as you did.
I didn't drive. It was only 10 minutes on the plane.
Okay, so
then the rental car picked me up.
So to have your jet bring you all the way here, we really appreciate you coming, and we've been wanting to get you on the podcast since we started, and we can't thank you enough for.
Well, now you've reached the height of the podcast, and I'm sorry to tell everybody out there this will be the last podcast because nobody, and I mean nobody, they can't follow me next week, they can't follow me the week after, they can't follow me a month from now, they can't follow me 6 months from now, a year from now. It doesn't matter. They can't follow Kyle Maggard. Plain and simple, just like when they get in the ring, they can't go bell to bell with me.
You heard it there, guys.
That's right.
I don't think we need to say anything else.
That's true.
It's pure fact.